flagship station for the Beam Team, Sactown Sports.
Yes. Allen Stiles with Sactown Sports on a beautiful, beautiful Thursday, November the 14th. Kyle Ledbetter behind the glass for us today. Yeah, legally not really sure how much we can say, but yeah, Nate wasn't wrong yesterday, okay? Nate was not incorrect about how he felt yesterday, so we hope Nate feels better. Kyle is going to do a great job for us, and yeah, Nate, if you're listening, just tea, lemon, and stay away. That's
Didn't he say on the air what was wrong with him?
Yeah, but I'm not going to say it. Okay? Nate is a different animal, and we hope he feels better. But yeah, Kyle is in. We're all safe, and we are going to rock and roll. As the Kings, they rocked and they rolled last night. They rolled over the Phoenix Suns, 127-104, as the bench was reignited. 3-point shooting showed up for, dare I say, the first time this season in a way that we all are accustomed to, and even better than we are accustomed to. But it wasn't without any losses, as the Suns were shorthanded. That's why you were getting a Ty Washington and a Josh Okogie and a Monte Morris, as they were doing their thing for the Phoenix Suns, or at least attempting to. Devin Booker was in a world of trouble all night long. He was put on Ellis Island. He got some Keegan Murray as well. There just wasn't enough from the Suns, but they tried, and there were a lot of opportunities for the Suns that they created from some of the guys I just mentioned. Tyus Jones still not missing shots, so they did not roll over. They didn't want to roll over, and the Kings said it's time to be put to sleep. It is time to go to bed. But as the Suns were shorthanded and the Sacramento Kings already didn't have Malik Monk, they added to the injury issues happening all throughout the league, as DeMar DeRozan exited the game with some back issues. So we will continue to monitor that. I would assume a little later in the show we will have some more notes on DeMar DeRozan, but as of right now, all we know is the second half started. We were all curious as to what was going on. Did not see DeMar DeRozan on the bench, and then the news came out about one DeMar, and we will be monitoring that until we hear more. So the Kings, they had to figure out a way to get it done without DeMar DeRozan. The usage has been fairly high with DeMar DeRozan. The minutes have been fairly high with DeMar DeRozan, and all the starters for that matter. So sometimes you need to be forced to do something you don't want to do, right? If you were a hooper back in the day and you had a coach or somebody tell you, hey, for me, it was my left hand. Hey, stop using your left hand. Over and over again, what do when somebody, a better defender gets against you? You go back to your left. Or if you're right-handed dominant, you go back to your right. Mike Brown a little bit. Things are getting tight. Sorry, guys, can't sub you out, DeMar. Sorry, guys, can't sub you out, Sabonis. Sorry, guys, can't sub you out, De'Aaron Fox. So what happens when you're at that practice? And I know a lot of people are going to remember the nostalgia here. Put that left hand, Allen, behind your back. And obviously you're never going to play with one hand behind your back, but you have to focus on using your right hand. And what we saw from the Kings last night and from one Mike Brown was a coach saying to Mike Brown, the coach, put that left hand behind your back. Or if he's right-handed, put that right hand behind your back. You're going to have to win a different way. Jordan McLaughlin, step on up. Trey Lyles, step on up. De'Aaron Fox, thank you. Legend of losing. These guys are going to have to step up in order for you to win. Because on the other side, Monte Morris was stepping up. You had guys stepping up for the Suns. So how were you going to react to that when you weren't going to be able to just roll the ball out there and say, DeMar, go cook? Well, I'll tell you how they responded. They responded with no player besides Kevin Huerter, who had an outstanding game, playing more than 35 minutes. Obviously, DeMar DeRozan, he was out with injury. But they kept Domantas Sabonis to 30 minutes. DeMar DeRozan, 17. He didn't play second half. Keegan Murray, 33. De'Aaron Fox, 32. Kevin Huerter, 37. When a lot of times when Malik Monk is healthy, Kevin Huerter isn't eclipsing 30. So you want a different way. And could this unlock another version of the Sacramento Kings? I got a text from my lovely wife yesterday. As I was getting ready, I was talking with people here in the building. Yesterday, I look up, it's 4:15. Now I got to run straight to the game. I normally go home, and shout out to Kings PR. I didn't have my media pass. They hooked it up for me. But I got a text from my wife while I was driving through the rain and the wind that when they went to the park, funny enough, we were just joking about this last week. What did baby Stiles find on the ground? A Pokemon card. Now, I looked at it briefly because I wasn't home for very long throughout the game ending, and this morning, I didn't remember that Pokemon. It was not Blastoise or a normal Pokemon. It wasn't a holographic card either. But we're talking about evolving. And could this Sacramento Kings team be evolving? We've seen the first iteration of them. It was a lot of DeMar. It was a lot of Sabonis. It was a lot of De'Aaron Fox. And all the other dudes are just standing in the corner waiting to shoot. Keegan Murray trying to do a lot of different things. Doug McDermott, Kevin Huerter. But now, due to injury, due to things changing, due to not winning games you're supposed to win, due to being the worst shooting three-point team in the league right now, a change gonna come, just like Sam Cooke said. And they're doing it in different ways. Let's go through the box score. We'll start with the Suns, and we get it. They weren't completely healthy. Royce O'Neal, 22 minutes, 5 points. Ryan Dunn, 28 minutes, 10 points. Yusuf Nurkic, 22 minutes, 3 points. I mean, he didn't finish the last game. Very similar to last game. That guy just does not playing Domas Sabonis. He just does not enjoy it. Tyus Jones came back to reality. Oh, there goes gravity. 10 points. He was 2 for 9 from three-point range, 3 for 11 from the field. Devin Booker, like I said, he's going to be the premier guy right there with no Bradley Beal, no Kevin Durant. 31 minutes, 1 for 4 from three-point range. He only had 18 points. There was just nothing that Devin Booker could do. Jalen Bridges, now to the bench. Jalen Bridges, 6 minutes, 1 point. Josh Okogie, great game. And I know people are going, can we get Josh? They are not giving up Josh Okogie. Now, he hasn't been playing like this at all. Okay, I think this is the first time he's eclipsed 20 all season. Josh Okogie, 28 minutes, 25 points, 10 for 15. This is the guy. And it's so funny when you're watching on TV or if you're in the building, you can see it happening. Oh, this is going to be the guy that ruins our day. This is going to be the role player that decides to go 1990s MJ. This is going to be the guy that decides to go LeBron on the Heat. This is the guy that's going to do it to the Kings tonight. And he did. But the Kings overcame it. Mason Plumlee, 12 minutes, 1 point. Bol Bol got minutes. 6 minutes, 5 points. Agudaro, 4 points, 15 minutes. Monte Morris felt like he had a lot more than 10 points. I'm going to tell you that much. 10 points, 2 for 3 from three-point range, 4 for 6 from the field. Back in the Bay, they call this guy the brother-in-law. They don't even call him by name when Damian Lee is getting run for you in the second quarter, that's a problem. He's not very good at basketball. 11 minutes, 1 for 4 from the field, 0 for 2 from three-point range, and he got cooked on defense. He got absolutely cooked. He did have 4 points. Good for him. Good for him for being in the league still. Ty Washington Jr., young cat, 16 minutes, 8 points. I actually liked what I saw from him. I think the Suns might have something there. He was not shy at all. I believe he's a Kentucky product. So he shows up there, and he does some good things as well. But it wasn't enough. All right, by the way, we'll get into the good, the bad, the ugly. Thank you very much, Kyle, for plugging that in. 29 points off of the Kings' 17 rebounds. That was a problem. So half of these points that the Suns got, or I shouldn't say half, but a good amount of them from the Kings just coughing up the rock. All right, now let's get to the Kings. Domas, 30 minutes, 11 points, 10 rebounds, 9 assists, 1 assist away from another triple-double. DeMar DeRozan, like we said, 17 points, only 2 shots all game. He only took 2 shots in the first half, still managed to get 5 rebounds, and that was Nate's over hit on Prop Talk. for that rebound line. I think it was set at 4.5. So DeMar, still a good night, efficient night. That's what G-Man said on the post game. But we're going to check in on DeMar and his back soreness situation. Keegan Murray, 33 minutes, 3 for 5 from 3-point range, 7 for 11 from the field. Keegan Murray, quiet night as far as the boards are concerned, 4 rebounds. He's been averaging 6.5, 7 these last couple games, plus 25 on the night. Keegan had the highest plus minus on the team. He had 17 points. De'Aaron Fox, 32 minutes, 11 for 17, only took 2 3-pointers. 2 3-pointers. 6 for 8 from the field. We'll get to the free throw, or excuse me, 6 for 8 from the line. We'll get to the free throws. This was the most throwback game we've seen from the Kings, to be honest with you, from the 3-pointers to the free throws, but you got it done. This is the first explosion game that we've been looking for. De'Aaron Fox, he had a double-double, 29 points, 10 assists, plus 19 on the night. Kevin Huerter, can't say enough about him. You know, I'm in the building last night. You know how many times we heard the baby don't hurt me? He was balling. 37 minutes. He played the most minutes on the night. 2 for 6 from 3-point range. 9 for 16 from the field. 22 points right there. All right? Not to mention, Frankie Cardicelli put it on 3 steals. He's had 3 games. 3 games consistently he's had steals. 3 steals last night for Kevin Huerter. As they were coughing the ball up, at least Kevin Huerter was getting the ball back. De'Aaron Fox, 2 steals as well, but we more so expect that from him. DeMar DeRozan had a steal as well. The Trey Lyles movement was alive and well. Hit it, Kyle.
Trey Lyles movement.
Thank you. The Trey Lyles movement, 22 minutes, 5 for 7 from the field, 3 for 5 from 3-point range, 13 minutes. And it wasn't just how Trey was scoring. It was the way he was scoring. Trey was throwing up the 3 in the air. He was shooting in rhythm. This is the Trey Lyles movement. This is what the Trey Bays were built on. That version of Trey Lyles. Play with a little bit of confidence, play with a little bit of swagger, and go out there and say, it's not a matter of, oh, is Trey going to do it? No, this is what I am going to do. Dougie McBuckets, rough night shooting. I think he had some good flashes, but you'd like to see more. Alex Len, 5 minutes. Isaac Jones, 3 minutes. Jordan McLaughlin, welcome to the show. 15 minutes, 4 for 6 from the field, 1 for 2 from 3-point range, 11 points. Obviously a season high for Jordan McLaughlin, but it wasn't just a season high for him. We'll tell you who else it was a season high for when we return. The Kings turn back the clock. What looked different from last night? We hear from the head of the snake, De'Aaron Fox. Allen Stiles here on Sactown Sports. We'll be right back.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Drapes, Kyle Draper from Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. And now that the holidays are here, there is no better time than right now to head down to Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. The Mercedes-Benz Holiday Love Celebration is back from now through January 2nd. You may say, Kyle, what is the Holiday Love Celebration? Well, let me tell you. At Mercedes-Benz of Stockton, you can discover exceptional offers on a new Mercedes-Benz, like the 2025 GLC 300 SUV. It's just $559 a month for 36 months. They also have a full lineup of SUVs, vans, electric vehicles, and of course, certified pre-owned vehicles with rates as low as 2.99% APR up to 72 months on select vehicles. Mercedes-Benz of Stockton believes in the true Mercedes car buying experience. So make the short drive down I-5 to Mercedes-Benz of Stockton and see what a true car buying experience is really about. Or of course, you can go online at mbofstockton.com.
Your home for Kings basketball for over 25 seasons.
Sactown Sports.
Allen Stiles, Sactown Sports. Taking up to 2 p.m. Kyle Ledbetter behind the glass for us today. Still seeing, we talked about it a lot yesterday, still seeing some people, and I understand you might not be able to listen for a long period of time, or you might just miss a day, right? You took the day off work, whatever it is. We know that it doesn't take a lot for somebody's typical day to change. So maybe you weren't able to listen yesterday and you're in here today and you're wondering, that's a lot of Styles going on. Where is the Watkins? Chris Watkins, a guy that has many, many talents, and we are so happy and blessed to be able to utilize those talents in many different ways. Chris Watkins will be working on Frankie Cardicelli's ridiculously talented team on the digital side. You will see Chris Watkins, Sactownsports.com. You'll see Chris Watkins on our socials as well on YouTube. So Chris Watkins is really going to help us as they are building that thing up. Yesterday, I called them the Avengers. Nate said Chris would probably be the Hulk. I don't know if he'd be the Hulk, but he dang sure is going to help that team in a lot of different ways. We will miss him here during the midday slot. Allen Stiles, I gotcha. It'll typically be Nate right now, but Nate is out under the weather.
So now you've got me.
So now Kyle Ledbetter is going to take us up, help take everybody up to 2 p.m. as well. All right, as we get back into the Kings-Suns recap. And by the way, Kings get the W, so why not? Everybody's in a good mood. The rain seems to have subsided for the day. I do think it's supposed to get a little bit squirrely tomorrow, but we're not thinking about that right now. So let's open up the phone lines, 916-339-1140. How impressed were you with the Kings? Do you need to see more? Are you on the side of, well, they were missing Bradley Beal, they were missing Kevin Durant? Or are you on the side of, yeah, and you still got the W as the Kings were missing DeMar DeRozan and Malik Monk? DeMar DeRozan specifically in the second half with that back issue. So where do you fall? 916-339-1140, call line, text line, and of course the Sac Chat doing their thing. If you are driving and you're going to pull up and be at home soon, fire up the old YouTube Sactown Sports 1140 and join that community today. But as we recap what happened last night, the Kings tie their season high with 15 three-pointers. They shot 53% from three after not having a single game above 40% all season long. They just skipped the 40% and said, we'll go straight to 53. Now, is that something that we expect to see every night? That would be nice, but no. But at the same time, this is what we thought the Kings were capable of doing. And they did it last night. It started to get a little squirrely. I'll be completely honest with y'all. We sat there in the pregame, and the first 3 questions, possibly 4, from the media, not myself included, I was there. I didn't need to ask a question because they all asked the same thing. Yeah, what's up with the 3-point shooting? And Mike Brown, as he was asked about it time and time again, essentially he said, we're going to stick to our process, and we believe in how we can shoot the basketball, and we're not going to blow things up just based on 11 bad games shooting. So this is what I posted yesterday. Mike Brown asked questions about Kings 3-point shooting woes, said they're getting a lot of the same looks from year 1 and year 2, but they could get some easier looks from sprays. Ultimately, he feels like they're not going to panic and change things 11 games into the season. And once he said that, you come home, you get some home cooking, maybe you go to your favorite spot in Sacramento, if you're a Sacramento King, wherever that may be, and you start to feel a bit better. And you wake up that morning and you get where you need to go and you look and you got Domantas Sabonis 3 for 3 from 3-point range. You got Keegan Murray 3 for 5 from 3-point range. You got De'Aaron Fox 1 for 2. Kevin Huerter 2 for 6. Trey Lyles 3 for 5. I mean, that was the one we were waiting for Trey to be able to stretch that floor and just get his confidence right. He struggled with injuries coming into last season. He struggled coming into this season. He was healthy in time, but we hadn't really seen him that much. Jordan McLaughlin gets on the board with 1, and then you got Keon Ellis getting 1, Kobe Jones at the end of the game getting 1. So the vibes were just right. The vibes were feeling much better than they had been, and something looked different. Something looked different, and De'Aaron Fox was asked about that, and this is what De'Aaron had to say.
I think it's the way that we touch the paint. I think getting 2 feet into the paint and then you spray. Sometimes it might not be that person that takes a shot, but now the defense is in rotation, and it could be, swing, someone else touches the paint, swing, shot. Whenever we're playing, we're not playing to get the assist. If that person has a shot, they take it. If they don't, they move it on, and you keep the defense in constant rotation. And I think that's when you start to get open looks. And I mean, obviously everybody knows it's much easier to stand there, catch the ball and shoot than it is to obviously have to run off a screen or have to do it by yourself off the dribble. So if we're able to do that, if we're able to create advantages and then play off of that, I feel like, it makes those shots much easier.
And that is what we saw last night. And that's not really going to happen with the MIDI committee with DeMar DeRozan as he gets to his spot and he shoots it. That's not the same as touching the paint, spraying it out. So this is not going to be I would never waste my time doing are the Kings better with DeMar DeRozan segment? No. What the goal of what we saw last night and the goal of breaking this down is, okay, now that we saw this and now that we've seen the Kings with DeMar, how do the Kings get to the best version of both? Because you could get those. Mike Brown already said he felt like they were getting the same shots, even with DeMar DeRozan in the fold. So you could get those same shots, even though I felt like it did look different yesterday.
I don't know. I feel like he was kind of right, though, because in the first quarter when DeMar was still in the game, obviously only a 70% version of himself, but even when he was in the game, first quarter, they hit their first 7 shots of the game.
He took 2 shots in the first half. He wasn't shooting the basketball.
Sure, but he was like on the floor and their spacing was still as it was before. They were knocking down shots. Keegan hit his first 5 shots. Fox went 6 for 6 to start the game or something like that. So I think that they were running the same offense even with DeMar there. He was just passive and not, taking shots early on. Right.
And there have been times where DeMar has, I'm going to get going. Now, remember, the first question I ever asked Mike Brown this season was, hey, has there been a balance of making DeMar feel welcomed and making sure that the process is the process? Mike Brown said, no, I'm not I'm taking his word for it, but it does feel like there was a time at the beginning of the season where it was, we want DeMar to kind of get going, and now DeMar feels very comfortable. Now I feel like we're seeing V2 of the Kings offense. To your point, whether DeMar is on the floor or not, but it has to be less DeMar, get to your spot. I saw somebody respond to what I said about DeMar only taking 2 shots in the first half, and they said, that's great, so he'll be ready to go in the fourth. And I'm thinking in my head, or maybe the Kings can take care of a team they're much better than from other guys scoring, and you won't need DeMar to save you in the fourth.
Yeah, or maybe they were up 61-45, I think, when he went off the floor for the last time. It's like they're up 15 at this point. Right. We don't have to worry about what's going to happen after that. They're already winning by 15 points.
Right. So I agree. It could be overblown just from the looks of it, and we have sound. Yeah, just as far as Doug Christie talks about the energy of the basketball, and it did feel like it had more energy, but that could be a couple things. I mean, they were coming off a loss, so it's not as if, I don't think the first half and second half look completely different. Obviously, we really only have the third quarter and the beginning of the fourth, but I do think that when things get a little DeMar heavy, guys can get a little cold.
But also, they just got off to such a hot start,
True.
Right out the gate. And it's easy to have, what was the phrase Doug Christie said?
The energy in the basketball.
Yeah, I feel like it's easier to feel like the basketball is energy when you see your first 7 shots go in. When I think Fox and Keegan were 9 for 10 in the first quarter. I feel like that they do feed off each other, but they had such a great first quarter that it felt like all the worries and concerns of the last 3 games, especially in the second half of that Spurs game, felt like they were put to bed for whatever the reasons were, because they were on a second night of a back-to-back, because the shot was finally falling, because of spacing, because DeRozan, whatever the reason is, it felt like a lot of those concerns, like the anxiety level dropped real quick as soon as those shots started falling.
Yeah, and, they're putting their foot down, and to be completely honest with you, the ball tipped off, and it really didn't feel like the Suns wanted to be there. They were off a back-to-back. They were injured, and they got, because of the turnovers, it gave them life. But when you got a team, especially a team that G-Man made a great point in the post-game, a team that you might need that tiebreaker later in the season, you got to take care of business, and the Kings did. Mike Brown was forced to use his bench last night for better or for worse. Last night, it was for the better. Let's talk about it. Allen Stiles, Sactown Sports.
Keegan Murray plays here.
Keegan scores another three-pointer. Keegan Murray knocking it down for 23 points. Match De'Aaron Fox for game scoring numbers.
Sactown Sports is your proud home of the Sacramento Kings.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
What makes you so different than the rest of us?
We ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Tell me more.
Our investment counselors focus on service over sales, prioritizing clients' needs.
How do you make money?
We don't sell any commission-based products. We have a simple management fee based on the value of our client's portfolio. So we do better when our clients do better.
What about client portfolios?
We get to know each client, their finances, family, health, lifestyle, and more, and then we tailor a portfolio based on their specific goals and needs.
Your clients really come first then, huh?
Yes, we make them a top priority. Our goal is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement.
Wow, maybe we are different.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Coach Doug Christie here for your truck headquarters, reminding you that every deal at Folsom Lake Ford is a slam dunk. Shop all your favorite models on sale now, including America's best-selling truck for over 47 years, Ford F-Series, plus a huge selection of Broncos, Bronco Sports, and all of Ford's award-winning SUVs at FolsomLakeFord.com. Listen, I know a great play when I see one, and if you want to save on a new Ford, you got to drive the lane straight to Folsom Lake Ford in the Folsom Auto Mall. Right now, buy any new Ford with zero down on approval of credit. Save big with low interest financing, and Folsom Lake Ford always pays top dollar for your trade. So hurry to Folsom Lake Ford, a 6-time Triple Crown winner for sales and service excellence. That's why they're my trusted dealer, and they should be yours too. Tell them Coach Doug Christie sent you, or shop them online at FolsomLakeFord.com.
Don't you deserve health care you can count on? Well, you can count on United Healthcare with Medicare plans that fit your life today and as your needs change tomorrow. You can enjoy reliable coverage and low out-of-pocket costs with a Medicare Advantage plan from United Healthcare. United Healthcare Medicare Advantage plans, made for California, trusted everywhere. The Medicare annual enrollment period ends December 7th, so go to uhc.com/Medicare today.
Facts are facts, and the facts show that for eliminating hip, knee, back, leg, and foot pain, it's the Good Feet personalized arch support system, clinically proven to provide significant pain relief in only 4 weeks. Good Feet arch supports are designed to help put your feet and whole body back in pain-relieved proper alignment. Good Feet arch supports are HSA and FSA eligible. Book your free fitting at Good Feet in Sacramento, Roseville, and Vacaville.
What's up? We're talking to Chad Hoblet of Hoblet Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, and Woodland. Chad, what's going on for Ram Power Days?
We are finishing the year strong by stocking up on new heavy-duty Ram trucks with over 300 available. And with savings up to $17,000 off MSRP, your perfect Ram truck is waiting at Hoblet.
That's some pretty big savings on those hard-to-find heavy duties.
Yep, and you won't find better deals on more Ram trucks than at the Hoblet Ram Truck Center. There's a reason we continue to be one of the biggest Ram dealers in the country, with numerous customer service awards, including the very prestigious Walter P. Chrysler Award, which means we are in the top 1% of dealers in the nation. Once you buy from Hoblet, you won't buy anywhere else.
Don't miss the savings at Hoblet. Search, select, and save through their whole inventory at HobletDodge.com. Unbeatable prices, unbeatable selection. Nobody beats Hoblet, period.
17,000 total net savings on select new 2024 Ram 2500 tradesmans after 10,500 factory rebates and 6,500 dealer discounts. Rebates include 3,000 Hoblet select inventory coupons, 500 on-the-job upfit incentive with proof of business ownership, and 2,000 Hoblet trade-in assistance for eligible trade-ins. 5 of this net savings, see dealer for details. Sample VIN 238277.
Everywhere you look, things are getting more expensive. So at Consumer Cellular, we're lowering the price for those 50 and up. Now you can get unlimited talk, text, and data for $30 a line when you buy 2. That's just $60 a month for 2 unlimited lines. So if you're 50 and up, make the switch and save. Come on, you've earned this. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com today. Requires 2 lines of service, age validation, and credit approval, subject to system and area limits, taxes, and other fees apply.
At Progressive, we know money can't buy happiness. But money did buy your boat, where you find peace fishing, unlike at home with 3 teenage daughters. Because fish never argue about who stole whose crop top, or get mad the other fish used up all the hot water. No, they just swim around, never embarrassed to be seen with you in public. So save money by bundling your boat or RV insurance with home or auto from Progressive. and buy more happiness, or something close to it. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states.
Live and local, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., Monday through Friday. Sactown Sports.
Allen Stiles here. Sactown Sports. Got you all the way to 2 p.m. The 10 to 2 is so interesting because all the other slots, nothing else is, you're in the same part of the day, right? 6 to 10, it's all morning. 2 to 6, your day is starting to cool off. Maybe you hop in the car.
Afternoon, evening.
Yeah, but 10 to 2, it goes from having coffee to some people are having an early dinner. Some people are having lunch.
Early dinner at 1:30?
2 p.m.?
Look, I'm all for early dinner, but I'm not eating dinner that early.
Dinner.
Maybe the people who do the what is it, intermittent fasting? I think it could be
maybe that's me. Sometimes.
I'm kind of in that way too. But you're not. Are you going like 18 hours without eating?
No.
Okay.
It's more of I'll just not eat dinner sometimes.
That's okay. That's different. That's different than intermittent fasting. That's just skipping meals. Intermittent fasting is like you eat all your food within 8 hours. So like you eat your first meal at 8 a.m.
I just don't. It's the world is your oyster.
But you're still sure. You're just skipping a meal. I don't.
And I had a small breakfast, so I just have a big lunch.
But no, nobody's eating dinner at 1:45 p.m. Some people are leaving work at 1:45 p.m., but not.
It might be your last meal at 1:45, depending on what.
Sure, but it's not dinner either. It's not your third meal at 1:45 p.m.
All right. Well, the bench was feasting last night on the Phoenix Suns. The Sacramento Kings bench, Kyle, they had 46 bench points last night, by far the most of the season, and it really hasn't been close for a couple of reasons. Number one, it was their first time eclipsing 30 as far as the bench points are concerned. And number two, they did it without Malik Monk. So when I'm looking through all of the games prior to last night, the first 11 games, it's 15 points and Malik Monk has 10. It's 25 points and Malik Monk has 17. So the idea that they got to 46 points without Malik Monk might be the most impressive part of the game. And I know what some people are thinking. Well, it was a blowout, but I went through all the games and the Kings have had a couple blowouts and it had not happened before with Malik Monk. So you did it without Malik Monk. And like we talked about in the first segment, as I mentioned, Pokemon and trying to evolve this again, sometimes to grow, tough things need to happen. Obviously, Mike Brown doesn't want DeMar DeRozan to have back issues, and obviously Mike Brown doesn't want Malik Monk to have his ankle issue, but it has forced Mike Brown to see what he has in Jordan McLaughlin, to see if Trey Lyles can turn it around, to give Trey Lyles a longer leash, to see if Dougie McBuckets, even though we didn't have one last night, to see if Dougie McBuckets could get going. And last night, a lot of those things did hit. Jordan McLaughlin, a lot of people were excited, okay, from what he did in Minnesota to being that guy that'll D you up, another kind of dog. And we talked to him during media day. Basically, the scouting report is this is a guy that's going to D up the premier guards, okay, from a secondary or even a third position in the point guard rotation, and he can shoot the three ball at a ridiculous clip. He was over 40% last season. Not huge volume, but he shot over 40%. So what's he going to be able to do on this team? And he had gotten spotty time at first. Again, Mike Brown. I mean, Mike Brown is all of us. You go with what you know. You go with what's comfortable. I'm Mike Brown. I want to win basketball games, okay? But situations like this early in the season, I know they didn't get on a plane because it was a home game, but it adds to the camaraderie of that team. hey, Jordan, man, I never really saw Jordan play that much, and now I'm seeing Jordan cook for us. Trey Lyles, we've been waiting for him to bust out. We're excited from what we saw from Trey Lyles. Maybe that stuff never comes because it's the crutch that you have because you have DeMar DeRozan, because you have Malik Monk. So nobody wants these guys to be injured. Of course not. But could this help the growth of this team? All right. Going to Pokemon again. What was it back in the day? Well, they weren't coins, but you had to spend your Pokeballs or whatever it was. You can't just improve without giving something up.
Yeah, you're asking the wrong person about that.
I had Pokemon Go back in the day.
Sure, when I was in like high school.
I don't want to hear that. I got another gray hair just hearing that statement. So now you're Mike Brown, and going into the next game, you think I gave Jordan McLaughlin 15 minutes. He went 4-6 from the field. He D'd up who he needed to D up. Obviously, no Bradley Beal last night. We know that. But Jordan McLaughlin, he was doing his thing. He got some time against Devin Booker, and he gave us 11 points off the bench. He was 4 for 6 from the field, his season high. So you had that going on. But it wasn't just Jordan McLaughlin's season high. Trey Lyles, his season high, what he was able to do. Kevin Huerter, obviously he didn't come off the bench, but Kevin Huerter, 37 minutes for Kevin Huerter, 9 for 16 from the field, 2 for 6 from three-point range, 22 points, 3 steals, 5 assists, 6 rebounds.
Kevin Huerter.
Stop it, Kevin Huerter.
Kevin Huerter.
Thank you, KD. So you did it against KD's team. KD wasn't playing.
Exactly.
So for these guys to do what they did in this situation, to be called on and to answer the call. Now, there have been times where they haven't. Kevin Huerter had a rough game in San Antonio, right? We'd like it to be less of a roller coaster. Shout out Six Flags Medusa. We'd like it to be more consistent. But we're 12 games into the season, 7-5. Could be better, could be worse. Phoenix Suns are 9-3. They're going through a tough patch. Who knows how they come out of it? That's a lot of Josh Okogie, okay?
Second most shots on the team
That's
for him.
a lot of Josh Okogie. And Tyus Jones, I love Tyus Jones. He's going to have to be a volume shooter for you. Other teams will live with it. Ryan Dunn, how are they going to come out? It's still early. I'm not taking back anything I said yesterday. The Kings need to get on this run. And they better not lay an egg against the Timberwolves. And they might not have DeMar DeRozan. But every team is dealing with something. The show goes on. That's just what it is. So we love what we saw last night. The problem that we've had with the Sacramento Kings team these last couple of years is that they have been allergic to building on momentum. They have not been able to build on momentum. You win a game, you lose a game. You win a game, you lose a game. You win 2 games, you lose a game. Can we see a run? And it's going to start against Anthony Edwards. And you should have something for Anthony Edwards. It's the NBA Cup. We'll get into it more tomorrow, of course. It's the NBA Cup. I don't know if they're going with the gray. I don't know if they're going with the gray court again.
I mean, they're going to do the gray court, but the thing that I saw on Tuesday is that they're not doing the city jerseys.
The jerseys.
The whatever basketball calls them. But they're not doing the special jerseys.
Just go purple. Just hurt my eyes.
I want to see the new, the 03 throwback jerseys.
Yeah.
I want to see those in action. I don't know why they haven't worn them at all this year.
Just go purple court. That's what I want. That's what I want.
The gray one's not bad.
No, I like the gray one, but if we're going to be obnoxious, let's just go full on and be obnoxious.
I'm with you too on that.
We got plenty of time to talk about the Timberwolves coming to Sacramento tomorrow. We're going to hear from Trey Lyles and how he feels in one of his best game this season. And we're also going to hear from Keegan Murray on the 3-point shooting. And ultimately, a game like today or a game like last night, how happy should we be? Allen Stiles, Sactown Sports.
Did you miss any part of our live local shows? Don't worry, you never have to miss them again. Check out SactownSports.com and search our podcast page and play our shows when you want. The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Stiles and Watkins, and The Drive Guys. Plus, other podcasts like Return of the Empire, Return of the Roar, The Stingers Up podcast, and Golf to Go with Frank LaRosa.
They're all available right now on SactownSports.com.
online, easy way to get life insurance in 10 minutes. Ethos has rates that you can afford, like a $500,000 policy for a 40-year-old male starting at $1 a day or $30 a month with a few health questions and no medical exam. Get your free quote right now at checkethos.com. That's checkethos.com. Not available in all states. Rates do vary.
Time to work on your gift list with Black Friday deals at the Home Depot. Right now, get a select tool from top brands like Ryobi and Milwaukee for free when you buy a select battery kit. Choose from reciprocating saws, multi-tools, sanders, and more. Whether you're stocking up on power for your personal workshop or grabbing the perfect gift for someone else's. Get Black Friday tool deals delivered from the Home Depot. Limit 1 per transaction. Exclusions apply. Full eligible tool list in-store and online.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave for American Energy Heating and Air with a question. Have you recently had a technician diagnose your HVAC system and you were a bit surprised at how much it cost? Or did something seem off about their quote? Because at American Energy, they take pride in giving you honest, straightforward solutions to get that system up and running. Have their qualified technicians come out and give you a free second opinion. It's free. You got nothing to lose but some dollars off of that original quote. They're making the uncomfortable comfortable. They've been doing it since 1981, serving the greater Sacramento area. A+ with the Better Business Bureau. That's why they keep having customers coming back for more and more and more. You can call them and set that appointment at 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
Insurance companies perform a very valuable service, but they want to keep their money. Although most cases settle before trial, it is paramount that the insurance companies know that if pressed, your legal team has the experience to take your case all the way. For 25 years, Ashton & Price has earned the reputation that if the insurance company isn't fair, we're ready to force them to be fair. My mom used to warn me, wait till dad gets home. Think of us as dad. The best part, there's no fee until we win.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
Hello, Sacramento. I'm Emran Pilati, owner of True Sports Cards and Collectible Store here in Rockland, California, and the host of the True Sports Cards Show that airs right here on Sactown Sports 1140 every Saturday from 10 to 11 a.m., where we discuss the latest trends, hottest products, and deliver exclusive interviews with other industry leaders. And don't forget to visit our shop, True Sports Cards, at 6661 Stanford Ranch Road in Rockland and see what we have for all your sports card and memorabilia needs.
The holidays are always a great time to get together with family and friends, but nothing beats the thrill of Stockton Honda's deals. During Happy Honda Days, find the perfect ride in person or online. With over 400 new Hondas ready to go, now is the time to buy at Northern California's #1 Honda dealer, Stockton Honda.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
Number 1 claims based on 2023 total new and Honda certified pre-owned vehicle car sales from American Honda Motor Company Zone Report.
Finally, an easy way to find home improvement contractors. Just visit subcontractorsunited.com and simplify your search for home services professionals. From cabinets to windows, roofing to plumbing, Subcontractors United is an easy, simple way to find and hire a home improvement contractor. And you never have to give up personal information. So no harassing phone calls like you get from those other websites. Subcontractorsunited.com is sponsored by D&D Cabinets and Savage Design.
Whitey here reminding you that not all grills are created equal. Give your family a real treat. Bring out all the flavors of the upcoming holidays with the amazing Napoleon Prestige line of outdoor cookers. Napoleon grills that features other grills can't match. They're built different, built better, built to last, complete with a lifetime warranty. All made with premium steel that boasts absolute quality. Just because it's November does not mean we can't barbecue outside. Visit California Backyard now for your best selection of grills and Napoleon Grills accessories.
Home Kings basketball for over 25 seasons.
Sactown Sports.
Takes the handoff, now lobs inside in the cut by Huerter. He's underneath the basket, battling for position. He creates a shot and scores. And it was like, my goodness, long lead out pass. Rejected by Keegan Murray and an attempt by Royce O'Neal. That was one of the best defensive plays the Kings have made. And then a baseline cut. Feed from Sabonis right to Kevin Huerter for the quick reverse. And the Kings have a 4-point lead at 72-68. Sacramento has scored 8 straight after going down by 4.
Electric. UPS Chris on the text line, 916. That chase down block was insane from Keegan last night, so we wanted to fire up that sound.
I'm glad, because that was the turning point of the game. It was 68-68 at that point, where they get the layup, the block, the back cut by Huerter, and then they hit a 3-pointer right after that too, and then they never looked back.
No, and I'll tell you this much, I'm not trying to get religious here at all, but whoever you believe in terms of how some people turn out to have a ridiculous amount of athleticism and turn out whatever size, however we think we get there, I will say this, a lot of other teams should be glad Keegan doesn't have that personality like some other guys, because Keegan just blocked the crap out of that dude and just didn't even react. Can you imagine if I did that, I'd probably still be celebrating it right now.
I did do it one time. It's the coolest thing I've almost ever done in a basketball game, where LeBron James chased down, blocked someone, and pinned it on the backboard, and I got so hyped that I ran past the hoop, and then he just got the offensive rebound and laid it in.
There you go.
But it was still really cool.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
If I'd been Keegan Murray, would have grabbed that rebound and just gone down the floor.
Right. Just business as usual. I mean, they got to be thankful, because Keegan is out here. That first game they played the Suns, he was bodying Devin Booker a couple different times, and just nothing. Just nothing. There's no John, no talking trash. There's none of that.
That one play where Booker thought he got fouled and went to the floor and was upset.
Yeah.
Keegan was just out of there as soon as the play happened. Nothing happened.
Nothing happened.
There was no John. He was out of there. Before Booker could even look up, he was out of there.
Meanwhile, the most electric arena in the NBA is going wild, but that's exactly who Keegan is, and that's why we love Keegan for his unique personality. As we're about to hear from Keegan and what he had to say about the 3-point shooting. But first, we wanted to hear from Trey Lyles, as we talked about the bench last segment, and getting Trey Lyles back, even though he's been playing, but getting that production back from Trey Lyles, how big it is. And he talks about why he thinks they shot the ball so well last night.
So good about that tonight.
We got to shoot around today, so we've been on Coach Brown about that, letting us shoot a little bit more. So I think that worked in our favor tonight. But I think we all know shots going to start to fall for us, and tonight they did that for us. So we just got to continue to go out there and be confident and shooting the ball when we're open and making the right play, and that's what we did tonight.
They are so open when it comes to the logistics and the practice plans. Malik is always saying, hey, practice is going too long, and now you have Trey Lyles. He doesn't normally let us shoot around. I guess what we can take from that is Mike Brown was saying, do whatever you need to do. Do whatever you need to do to shoot above 35% for 3-point range.
Because I remember when it was the first year, the Beam Team season, it was like stuff that happened in practice was like Cold War secrets. You couldn't get any information out of what was happening in practice. And this year, it's like Fox is out here talking about what drill they did, and Monk's talking about that. And Lyles is saying, "Oh, we got shots up in practice." Mm-hmm. It's too long, it's too short. It's like that was not happening 2 years ago. And now this year it's like, you know what? It's fine.
Yeah, let's just get W's and we'll figure the rest out later. Mike Brown got that extension. Malik Monk came back. Let's just do what we need to do to take that next step. Let's hear from Keegan Murray now on the 3-point shooting and how everybody's feeling after that big W.
Team triples, you knocked down 3 of them. How good did it feel to see the ball go in the basket from behind the arc?
Yeah, I mean, it was good to get back home off a road trip, and I think we just shot the ball well. We were shooting it with confidence, and it was a whole team effort tonight.
Keegan, I got to ask you about that. I know there's been kind of a lot of noise, exterior noise about that 3-point shooting struggles that we've seen early in this season, but, tonight you guys seem completely unfazed, completely unaffected by it. What is the mentality of you guys and the conversations you've had as a team about the 3-point shooting in particular?
Yeah, I mean, there wasn't many conversations. Like, I'm gonna be honest. Like,
You're not about that noise?
No, we don't. I mean, I don't hear the noise. We don't really hear the noise as a team. So we know we're a good shooting team. And in the NBA, it's just about the flow of the game and things like that. And we just haven't got off to a good start. And we knew eventually we're due. So
there you go. The one, the only Keegan Murray. That doesn't really surprise me. I mean, from our point of view, okay, you're 11 games into the season and this is supposed to be your identity. It doesn't look great but from their point of view, even if that's how they feel, I mean, you're going to be in the locker room. Guys, we got to stop throwing up bricks. I mean, I just think it's unspoken. I think a lot of times, Kyle, not just in basketball, but just throughout life, once you talk about something, it's a thing, right? So at the beginning of something, it's, oh, well, shooting is a little bit off, but once you sit down and have a conversation and say, how do we fix our shoot? Now it's a problem. So I think there's a little sports philosophy there where the guys aren't going to sit there and say, man, we can't shoot. You're not going to do that. And look, maybe, well, what happens if they shoot the same tomorrow night? We'll see. But no, they're not going to sit there in the locker room and have a conversation. Because what are you going to say?
I don't know. I mean, we don't know what the details were about the team meeting during halftime of the Miami Heat game, but maybe shooting was a part of that conversation too.
But what do you say? Guys, let's stop building houses with bricks.
Someone can lighten the mood maybe, but if you got the fire and energy that Keegan Murray showed in that interview, I mean, who wouldn't feel motivated to turn the corner after hearing Keegan Murray talk all about their improved three-point shooting? I mean, yeah, I think once you sit down and think, how do we fix this? That's when it becomes a thing. And I don't know if this game made a difference or what, but it was just like, they knew they were dead last. We all knew they were dead last. So clearly they knew they were dead last in the league in 3-point shooting. And at that point, it's just like, it's hard to deny it's not a problem at this point.
Right. And you know, what's funny is you have something like this and it's crazy to say this, but I would never say that they shot too well, but is it to a point where we don't even need 53 because we know that's not realistic? Now I wonder I don't want this to come off like an aberration or like a one-off because it was so ridiculous. Just sit at 39, 40% and just chill. Chill.
But I think it's the thing that Mike Brown's been consistently saying in these post-game press conferences is not, oh, the shots aren't falling. It's, oh, we're passing up on the open shots, or we're passing up on the, he wants them to shoot 5 to 10 more 3-pointers a game. And then as you shoot by volume, those percentages should go up. And I think he's right in that case. Usually when you see, because everyone who has gotten to the NBA can shoot, right? Mm-hmm. It's not like there are truly terrible, like these are all NBA players, right? Like even Portland, like hitting 32% of your threes, like barely any college teams are hitting 32% of your threes. It's, when you shoot enough threes by volume, those percentages are going to go up. Like for Phoenix last night, Phoenix shoots 30% from three, which is exactly where the Kings were all season, but they're 13 for 43.
Right.
The Kings have been averaging 29 3-point attempts a game, between 29 and 32 most games. Like if they're not shooting 40, like if you're hitting 19 3-pointers, that's 39 points. But if you're only hitting 9 of 29, that's 27 points, and you're going to have to make that up somewhere else.
Once again, Kings tie season high with 15 3-pointers, but the difference between the season high as far as the score and the 15 is the percentage. 53% from three after not having a single game above 40% all season long. Season high scoring nights for Kevin Huerter, Trey Lyles, and one Jordan McLaughlin. We have a injury update on DeMar DeRozan based on what we heard last night, nothing more from today. So we will discuss DeMar DeRozan, the absence of DeMar DeRozan. Is DeMar DeRozan the more that we need as far as the usage that we've seen? Or did last night show us that maybe we need a little less? Allen Stiles, Sactown Sports.
The only place you'll find De'Aaron Fox is Sactown Sports.
Spins away from the defender, in the paint, soft floater. That's a great play by De'Aaron Fox.
Hey Sacramento, it's De'Aaron Fox, and you're listening to the home of the Sacramento Kings, Sactown Sports.
Your local sports leader.
Get year-end pricing during Happy Honda Days at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop for great pricing on our entire selection of new CRVs, HRVs, Ridgeline Civics, and Accords. Plus, with low finance and lease options, now's the time to buy. Hurry in and save during Happy Honda Days at Folsom Lake Honda, or go to folsomlakehonda.com.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
It's Capital Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room, and guess what? Primetime football is back. Capital Casino is giving away $500 per game in high-hand bonuses for every Sunday, Monday, and Thursday night primetime game. As always, offering the best food, the best service, and the best action with the most variety of games in the region, conveniently located in downtown Sacramento. So check them out, Capital Casino, and always remember to gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
The year was 1948. The Sacramento Symphony was founded. Harry Truman was president. Jerry Mathers from Leave It to Beaver was born. And Walter Keyes opened his first Naturewood home furnishing store 76 years ago on 25th and Broadway. Hi, I'm Frank LaRosa with Golf to Go. All those many years ago, the Keyes family promised integrity and quality in serving families just like yours and mine. Near as I can tell, Walter would have been pretty proud to know that those same values are evident today at Naturewood Home Furnishings. The Naturewood team takes great pride and significant effort to offer Northern California families a vast selection of home furnishings. Furnishings that not only last for generations, but also lead to everlasting memories of cherished times. Visit Naturewood Home Furnishings now during their Veterans Day Save the Tax sale and get started making your own brand of memories. The Keyes family would love to hear them. Naturewood Home Furnishings off Highway 50 at Hazel. Look for the water wheel.
Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Here's Frank LaRosa.
David Dusek writes in Golf Week that according to FootJoy, about 65% of golfers wear the wrong size golf gloves. A properly fit and maintained golf glove will help you stay connected to the club without extra tension, which can mean more speed. Snug is the name of the game. A perfect glove should fit like a second skin, wrapping tightly around your palm and fingers. If the glove is too loose, the extra material can bunch up and lead to a bad connection between your hands and the grip. The fingers of the glove should extend just to the tips of your fingers. If there's too much space at the end of your fingers, try a cadet version of the glove made for golfers who have shorter fingers and wider palms. The Velcro closure should only require a slight pull to secure. If you're stretching the strap significantly, the glove is too small. Natural leather offers superior feel and touch. Synthetic leather gloves tend to cost less and probably last longer. After your round, air out your glove to maintain softness and flexibility. That's your Golf to Go. I'm Frank LaRosa.
Shop Dell Technologies Black Friday event for their lowest prices of the year. The future is on sale today with limited time deals on select PCs like the XPS 16 that accelerate AI with Intel Core Ultra processors. Black Friday is their biggest sale of the year and the best time to upgrade, but it's only here for a limited time. Shop now at Dell.com/deals. That's Dell.com/deals.
It's football season, and Uber Eats is dropping undefeated deals on all your game day favorites. This week, score buy one, get one free Crunchwrap Supremes from Taco Bell, only on Uber Eats. Craving even more? We've got you covered with game day deals on pizza, burgers, wings, and more all season long. Uber Eats, official on-demand food delivery partner of the NFL.
Order Taco Bell for game day now through November 17, 2024. Second item of equal or lesser value. Terms apply. See app for details.
It's time for the Sactown Sports live events calendar, the hottest live events lineup just for you. Kicking things off for comedy fans, don't miss David Spade bringing his sharp wit at Hard Rock Live Sacramento on November 22nd, followed by the hilarious Russell Peters lighting up the stage the next night, November 23rd. Then get ready to feel those good vibrations with the legendary Beach Boys on November 24th at Hard Rock Live. And for classic rock lovers, the Black Crowes are rocking the same stage November 30th. All of these are brought to you by our friends at Live Nation. The original Jersey Boys, Midtown Men, are bringing their holiday show to Thunder Valley on December 8th. And kicking off the year in style, country stars Dylan Scott and Jackson Dean are hitting Thunder Valley on January 10th. And the one and only Bill Engvall will be there too, cracking up the crowd on January 11th. Don't miss these incredible events coming your way, and stay tuned for more info. To get details, head to SactownSports.com.
If you've been looking to get into a brand new Jeep, don't wait. Head to Sacramento Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, because all month it's Black Friday. And there's a reason people keep coming back to Sacramento Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, because it's the place where a handshake still means something. Off Business 80 across from Hagen Oaks Golf Course. SacSuperstore.com.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento.
Your flagship station for the Beam Team.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sactown Sports 1140. The only station in Sacramento giving you local sports coverage from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. Sactown Sports.
Nice inside by the Kings. Fox has it, throws it ahead now to Doug McDermott. Back to Fox to the left side to Lyles. Screen set, 3 on the way. Kings got another one. That's the Kings basketball that we've missed seeing for a spell. Knocking down those triples, 7 of 12 on the night. T. Lyles now has himself a 9-point ball game, having made 3 of 4 from downtown. And the Suns take a timeout.
DeMar DeRozan, Allen Stiles here with Kyle Ledbetter, Sactown Sports. DeMar DeRozan injury update. He had lower back spasms that led to his departure in the first half. The Kings ended up going on a 23-point run after DeRozan left the game, and a lot of people are now asking the question, hold on. Is less DeMar more? And I don't think it's that simple. You know, it's not just about DeMar scoring the basketball. I remember, don't think I forgot you, 209 on the text line yesterday, said it was ridiculous to bring up. And we see one of the biggest offensive explosions from different guys like Trey Lyles and Kevin Huerter and Jordan McLaughlin that we just hadn't seen before. Now, I'm not putting it all on DeMar, but we have to have the conversation about where this offense is going. And the fact that this offense is still evolving throughout each and every game. Now, it can evolve, but you still got to win basketball games. You can't go out there and lay an egg to the Timberwolves and expect people like me or fans to say, oh, well, they're evolving, it's okay. Because there is a timeline on this stuff. De'Aaron Fox, his extension that he wants, that All-NBA. Obviously, you have DeMar for a couple years here. He's an elder statesman. So there's a timeline on this stuff. So you're not just selling this season in any way, shape, or form. And Sam Amick's got some more on that we're going to play a little bit later in the show. So we can understand that this is a work in progress, but you also have to win during that work in progress. 916-339-1140. Let's open up the phone lines. What did last night teach you about the Kings? Do you feel any differently about DeMar DeRozan or what you've seen in the first games than you saw last night? And Kyle, I think you made a great point earlier, just as far as the fact that they were scoring with DeMar on the floor in the first half. So we're not trying to put the pieces together to say he shouldn't be on the floor, or not to say he shouldn't even be shooting.
Yeah, no one's saying that.
Nobody is saying that. It's just it did look different. It looked different to me. It looked different.
Remember like 2 weeks ago when on this show and other shows across the station, we were talking about, is DeMar DeRozan the number one option of the Kings offense? Mm-hmm. And it felt like through 7 games, they were emphasizing DeRozan. He had that streak where he broke Chris Webber's metric for 20 consecutive 20-point games to start a Kings career.
Right.
And you brought up the point earlier that might have been getting him situated into the offense and comfortable and playing into his strengths a little bit. And whether it was or not, like that was the reality, is that DeRozan was taking more shots than anyone else on the team early on in the season. And the three-point shooting was not as good. Is that a causation correlation? I don't know. I feel like we need more than a 7-game sample size to figure that out,
or a half, to be honest. Well, or a half.
Then there's this part, which is we just got the first game without DeRozan of this new look Sacramento Kings team, and it looked great with him on the floor, and it looked great without him off the floor. If you take out that 6-minute stretch at the end of the first half and the beginning of the third quarter where the Suns went on a 20-3 run, I mean, they would have won the game by 40 points if not for that terrible stretch when DeRozan went off the floor right at the beginning. But also, again, Phoenix was shorthanded,
right,
coming off of a back-to-back, a cup game last night. So, we need a larger sample size to know whether it's causation or correlation between DeRozan was taking a lot of shots early in the season and the three-point shooting was bad. And then he went off the floor and the three-point shooting got better. But it's interesting, at least, that DeRozan went down and the Kings played excellent. I think that's the thing you should take away, is that they were able to play excellent in spite of not having DeRozan and Malik Monk.
Right. And if DeMar DeRozan goes down and the Suns have Kevin Durant and they have Bradley Beal, do they do this? I don't know. We'll never know. But there's a good part of me that feels like they don't. That's just the reality of the situation. I am in no way, shape, or form saying that I don't want to see DeMar DeRozan play tomorrow night, because above all else, I want the Kings to win basketball games, and I think the Kings have a better chance winning basketball games with DeMar DeRozan on the floor. But I do wonder, even if he plays tomorrow night, do we start to see more of the first half DeMar DeRozan than we've seen in games past? Now, maybe that needs to be ratcheted up, because a night where you're getting similar looks and you're not hitting, that's where it's DeMar. We need you. This is why we got you. You're the escape valve to help out here. But when things are rolling like they were rolling last night, nobody wants to kind of mess up the mojo or the flow.
Well, I think the other thing that's going to change specifically tomorrow, and this is why it's so hard to do 1-game sample sizes with this stuff, but tomorrow they play the Timberwolves.
Yeah.
The Timberwolves are an incredibly lengthy team. They're going to be playing essentially 3 big lineups. And the Kings are going to have no Malik Monk. If DeRozan plays, he's going to be guarding either Naz Reid or maybe Julius Randle.
Right.
But, I mean, we saw what happened in the first game of the season. Julius Randle absolutely cooked the Sacramento Kings.
Yeah.
So this is why it's hard to do it. Even if DeRozan is healthy enough to play, I'm not going to say healthy, just healthy enough to play. I mean, the matchup they're playing against Minnesota dictates they should be playing a different style of offense than what they were doing last night. So it's tough.
Only 2 shots in the first half for DeMar DeRozan. The three-point shooting was at 53% at halftime and fluctuated, but ended up at 53% to end the basketball game. And as soon as we have another update on DeMar DeRozan, we will get that for you. And look, this thing was going to, when we have these conversations and we try to prepare ourselves for how this thing is going to look and the fact that there's going to be a transition period, you never know how the transition period is going to look. I think a lot of people thought that maybe DeMar DeRozan wasn't going to score as well, but there was a lot, and we talked about it yesterday, there was a lot of victory lapping from Kings fans saying, I thought it wouldn't work. I thought it wouldn't work. I thought it wouldn't work with DeMar. And what we learned was that the issue was never going to be DeMar DeRozan scoring the basketball. He's going to get to his spot no matter what. He's going to get to his spot until he doesn't tie his shoes, but until he takes off his basketball shoes, DeMar DeRozan is going to get to his spot on any team that he plays on against any opponent. So that was never going to be the issue. The issue, whether it was national media just being annoying because it's the Kings or actually having some legs behind it, the issue was more about how would it affect the other players, right? And it was so much about the spacing. It wasn't as much about the flow of the game and the flow of the basketball. So we saw, okay, DeMar DeRozan can cook on this team. But is that the best version? The question is DeMar DeRozan averaging 23, 24 points a game the best version of this Kings team? And after 11 games, or you could say 12 games, I feel fairly comfortable saying that I'm not entirely sure that it is. I'm not entirely sure that it is. Right now, DeMar DeRozan is averaging 22.9 points a game. De'Aaron Fox is averaging 24.6. Doesn't feel like a lot, but DeMar DeRozan averaging 22.9 points a game, not to mention we talked about the amount of minutes these guys are playing. And now look, DeMar DeRozan, back spasms, all right?
Yeah, that was a crazy thing that they showed on the pregame show last night, was that the Kings currently going into last night, it's obviously changed now that DeRozan only played 2 minutes 17 minutes yesterday. The Kings had the 4 highest minute totals, like in terms of total minutes played. They had the 4 highest totals in the league. It was DeRozan, Fox, Sabonis, and Keegan. I thought that was crazy. And
in the league, okay?
Yeah, I think 5th was Trey Young, which is like, I expect Trey Young to play a lot of minutes because he's all they've got on offense.
So at 22.9 points a game, averaging 36.5 minutes, maybe the bet, and the Kings sit at 7-5 with one of those wins against a B-ish team from the Suns, being one of those wins, and DeMar DeRozan not playing that second half. Is the best version of this team DeMar DeRozan at about 15 points a game and 32-ish minutes while you let other guys cook and you get other guys to the flow? I don't know. What I do know is that 7-5, that amount of winning and losing is not going to get you into the playoffs. That is play-in territory. That's just what it is.
Coming into the season, I said, and I've adjusted expectations now, but I remember saying if we can get 20 points a game out of DeRozan in this offense, then everything's going to be just fine. And that was just predicated on what we were getting from Harrison Barnes last year, right? Like if we get 20 a game from DeRozan compared to what Harrison Barnes was doing, that's a success. And now that he's in that 23, 24, 25 a game territory, I feel like if he exists in that space while taking like if his efficiency is up, if he's hitting shots at the rate he hit the first 5 games of the season, then I think everything's going to be just fine. The numbers, the points per game will be what they will be at the end, but it's less important than looking at like what his efficient field goal percentage is and getting to the free throw line, because that's such a huge part of DeMar DeRozan's game. And he's been doing both of those things this year. He's been incredibly efficient.
You know what's funny? You say that though, as you bring up the free throw line. I don't know, Kyle. I'm just thinking about the flow of shooters, and it's a choppier game when you're going to the line. I'm just saying this is what we've seen.
That's true, but remember the old thing people used to say with analytics is like the 3-point shot and the layup are the best shots in the game, only behind the free throw. The free throw is the most efficient shot in the game.
I'm not arguing that. I'm arguing shooters can be particular, and you want to get lathered, you want to get into a flow, and you get stopped, and all right, DeMar's at the free throw line, and the rate of play, if you've ever golfed. So that's just what it is. All right, good, bad, and ugly from the Kings defense in that 127-104 victory last night. Allen Stiles, Sactown Sports.
All guests come to you from the Folsom Lake Honda Hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Carmichael Dave here from my good friends at American Energy. Cool weather, if not cold weather, is in our future. You know that. It'll eventually get there, and American Energy wants to make sure your system is operating safely and properly. So now is the time to take advantage of the $49 fall tune-up inspection. That's regularly $119, but includes a full safety and duct inspection. And if your system's over 10 years old, it's free. The tune-up is on American Energy. Give them a call right now. They're offering $50 off your first recommended repair, or if you need a new furnace, that's half off the price of a new unit. American Energy been serving the greater Sacramento area since 1981. A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You can check them out at theaeway.com for an instant quote. That's theaeway.com. Tell them Carmichael Dave sent you.
Call 916-520-9998 now.
Your home for Kings basketball for over 25 seasons.
Sactown Sports.
The 916 is chiming in here about the Minnesota Timberwolves. The Timberwolves, you're on with Allen Stiles here, Sactown Sports, taking up to 2 p.m. Kyle Ledbetter behind the glass doing a great job. The Timberwolves, not great for the Timberwolves right now. The Timberwolves, they've been playing the Blazers a lot. I don't know why, but they're playing the Blazers a lot. They played the Blazers November 8th, then they played the Blazers November 12th, and then they played the Blazers last night. So the Timberwolves, they have lost their last 3, and 2 of them have been to the Trailblazers. They lost to the Heat 95-94. That sounds like a terrible game. That was on Sunday. Then they lost to the Blazers on Tuesday, November 12th, 122-108. And then they lost to the Blazers last night, 106-98. So 916 is saying they're going to be desperate for a win. They did beat the Kings at home for the Kings season opener. The Timberwolves had just played the Lakers and lost. So we keep getting the Timberwolves desperate, which is not good. We keep getting the Timberwolves desperate, and we have no clue. We know that the Kings won't have Malik Monk. We do not know yet if the Kings will have DeMar DeRozan. And, look, we can have conversations about how the offense looked. You're not going to convince me that you don't need DeMar DeRozan tomorrow night against a desperate Timberwolves team. So that is something that we are going to get more into tomorrow. From the 916, you guys are smoking bleep. DeMar is the best bucket on the team, and the team actually didn't change bleep last night other than they made shots. Actually, Fox was DeMar last night, making middies at a high percentage. You're making up DeMar drama. Stop it. That is from Folsom Mike. We love Folsom Mike, but Folsom Mike not happy with us. Folsom Mike, the reality of the situation is it's the eye test, and we don't have to agree. That's what sports talk is. But they shot 53% last night. It looked different. 916-339-1140. You're on my side. You're on Folsom Mike's side. Maybe you're in the middle.
I think maybe Folsom Mike might have a point because we didn't. I guess maybe we had to say it out loud. DeMar DeRozan is the best offensive player on the Kings right now. Like, I feel like we need to say the quiet part out. Like, he's like 12th in the league in global rating. He's like 20th in the league in efficiency rating.
Yes.
Like,
we've watched the Kings these last 12 games, and we've watched DeMar DeRozan cook. We've also watched the other Kings players brick. DeMar DeRozan takes 2 shots in the first half last night. The Kings are shooting 53% from 3. Nobody is saying we don't need DeMar DeRozan. What we're saying is that maybe what we saw the first 11 games isn't the best version of the Kings. There's nothing wrong with that conversation. Unless Folsom Mike, you want to be 7-5, the equivalent of 7-5, right? You want to be what? 82? Help me out with the quick math here, Kyle. You want to be 82-80 or 42-40?
I think 7-5 throughout the season would come out to 47-35.
47-35. That's maybe playing. That's playing-y.
That's what it was last year, at least. The Kings won 46 last year, and they were the 9 seed.
If you are okay with the 9 seed, Folsom Mike, cool. I'm not. And I don't think the Kings are either.
Well, so I guess the interesting thing about it is it's a trend right now, but it's a trend of basically a half a game sample size, which is not enough sample to work with. 7 to 10 games before this is not enough of a sample size to decide whether or not the Kings' shooting woes are because of DeMar DeRozan or not. It's just the two things that stand out most prominently is the Kings added DeMar DeRozan and they're not shooting well. There's no way to determine causation or correlation to that. It's just that last night happened to be the game that they broke out of the shooting slump, and it just happened to be the game that DeMar DeRozan only took 2 shots.
We don't know yet.
Yeah,
we don't know.
We won't
know. They could be bricks tomorrow night, and DeMar DeRozan could not play.
And they could be bricks tomorrow, and we still won't know, right? And it would take DeMar DeRozan being out an extended period of time to change that, because again, the other part of it is Malik Monk hasn't been playing either. And in the first game, they were bricks without Malik Monk on Monday. And then last night, they shot 53% from the 3-point line. And in the first game on Monday against the Spurs, the bench had 3 points in the second half. And last night, the bench had 30 points in the second half. So it's like in one game sample sizes, we don't know exactly what's going on. It's just two events that are happening at the same time, and we have no idea whether it's causation or correlation.
Yeah, a lot of people are chiming in saying, right now they're on pace. 916 is saying they're on pace for 48 and 34. That doesn't keep us out of the play and could be close. We don't know. We don't know, but I mean, you're not for sure out of it.
And instead of playing the game of like, oh, they would be this many wins, they're currently in 8th place in the Western Conference, right? So if everyone in the West plays at the same rate they're playing right now, the Kings would finish 8th place in the Western Conference.
Right.
So that tells you and again, the Western Conference is going to even itself out, right? A lot of these teams are going to regress to the mean because they're just going to start beating up on each other as the season goes along. So the where they are in the 7-5 record and on pace for 48 wins, sure, it's stylistically, they've played now 11 games with DeRozan, 1 game without. We'll see how it looked very different in the first game. We'll see how it looks if they have to play more without him, which again, we don't know if they're going to have to play more games without him.
Last season, the Lakers were the 7th seed with 47 wins. The Suns were the 6th seed with 49 wins. The Kings finished with 46. I just can't believe I'm having I can't believe people are sitting here saying, not questioning a 7-5 team. That's just what I don't understand. I don't understand that.
Yeah, I get that.
Not saying that they're trash, but you don't want to improve. I don't get that.
But it's also a 7-5 team that prior to last night, I don't think had won a game by more than 8 points, if I remember correctly. Like, they were playing a lot of one-score games early on in the season too. So I kind of understand some of that concern up and down. I'm not worried about whether the offense will be better or worse without DeRozan. I guess we need to say that part out loud. The offense is not going to be as good with DeMar DeRozan out.
Nobody is saying that.
Yes, maybe we need to say that part out loud.
The question is, how do you get what you got last night, knowing that DeMar DeRozan is going to have to get his as well?
Yeah, how do you?
We have not seen that yet.
Yeah, how do you get career or season highs from Kevin Huerter, Trey Lyles,
Jordan McLaughlin.
Jordan McLaughlin hit 4 shots last night. He had hit 3 in the previous 11 games combined.
There you go.
So it's like, how do we get production out of those players under a world where we don't have DeMar DeRozan or Malik Monk? I mean, both of them were out last night, but there's a good chance that we're not going to have both of them together on the floor until like Thanksgiving.
The good, the bad, the ugly from the Kings defense we discuss on the other side. Allen Stiles, Sactown Sports.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Elk Grove Honda.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. For your Thursday, a cool start out there. Expecting to have temperatures warm into the lower 60s this afternoon. We'll have sun, clouds, and a few isolated showers possible, especially later in the afternoon. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
At Elk Grove Honda, our recipe for happy holidays is to think happy Honda days. There's no better time to visit Elk Grove Honda than during our year-end clearance sale in the Elk Grove Auto Mall or online at elkgrovehonda.com.
I gotta get an Elk Grove Honda. Welcome to Staples.
Help! My family's in for the holidays and I need gift ideas.
That's why we're here. Staples has amazing deals on everything you need. Photo gifts, laptops, and gaming systems. Even custom holiday cards and shipping solutions to send gifts to the family that can't make it.
Perfect! Have anything for Uncle Frank? I love him, but the guy is never quiet.
Noise-canceling headphones. For you.
You get it.
Unwrap huge holiday savings at Staples. And right now at Staples, save up to $350 on select computers. Ends 11/16, in-store only.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my side softer?
Can I make my side firmer? Can we sleep cooler? Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. And now, during our Black Friday sale, save 50% on the Sleep Number limited edition smart bed, plus special financing. Limited time. To find a store near you, visit sleepnumber.com.
The impact of a meal goes well beyond feeding our bodies, because when people don't have to worry about where their next meal is coming from, they can truly thrive, like Marta.
And now we'll hear from our class valedictorian, who with our hard work never ceases to amaze us. Please welcome Marta Moreno.
And Alex.
Hey, Alex, how did the interview go?
I did it! I got the job! I can't believe it!
I knew it. Let's meet up later to celebrate.
And Diego.
Mom! I got first place at the science fair with my volcano project.
That's amazing, sweetie. Congratulations.
Because when people are fed, futures are nourished, and everyone deserves to live a full life. Join the movement to end hunger at feedingamerica.org/actnow. feedingamerica.org/actnow. A public service announcement brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
At the law offices of Dale R. Gomes, we understand that when you're facing a crisis, you need more than just a lawyer. You need a team. Our dedicated attorneys work together, combining decades of experience to guide you through personal injury or criminal defense matters with care and expertise. We're committed to supporting you every step of the way, ensuring your voice is heard and your rights are protected. With offices in Sacramento and El Dorado County, reach out to the law offices of Dale R. Gomes today, 916-999-9033, or online at dalegomslaw.com. Tom's Watch Bar, your ultimate sports watching destination for all Kings games, hosted live by Sactown Sports. With 360-degree viewing, surround sound, premium food and drink, and game day vibes that match being at the game, Tom's Watch Bar is the ultimate game day experience for all Sacramento Kings fans.
The Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop is your unsurpassed spot to find the hottest golf gear, best pricing, and elite expertise. Every club on the shelves can be tried for free on the driving range. 3 TrackMan units and a Hagen Oaks team of skilled fitting professionals provide the finest club fitting experience. Our personable Super Shop staff will show you the newest to help you look and play your best. You love golf. The Hagen Oaks team loves golf too. Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop, Fulton Avenue at Business 80. Learn more at hagenoaks.com or 916-481-GOLF.
Bell Brothers presents our end-of-year warehouse clearance with our lowest prices of the year. Everything in our inventory must go. Save big on new furnaces, water heaters, AC units, and more. Plus, receive an instant rebate of up to $2,000 on select furnace and AC systems, and a free standard water heater with installation, and 0 payments, 0 interest financing. Call Bell Brothers now at 916-444-1234, or go online to thenosurpriseguys.com. These deals will not last long. If you have been putting off getting a new heating and cooling system or replacing your old water heater, now is the time to take action. It's Bell Brothers end-of-year warehouse clearance. Our in-home estimates and second opinions are always free. Right now is the best time to save up to $2,000 on select heating and cooling systems. Plus, receive a free standard water heater with installation. Plus, 0 payments, 0 interest financing. Get all the details at thenosurpriseguys.com. Financing based on approved credit.
No surprise guys, Bell Brothers.
DC here for Folsom Lake Kia, where they make car shopping easy with a huge selection of new Kia models, low payments, and 0 down deals with approved credit. Folsom Lake Kia, your trusted dealer in Folsom for over 25 years. FolsomLakeKia.com.
The only station in Sacramento giving you local sports coverage from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. Sactown Sports.
916, who mentioned they're on pace for 48 and 34, says, just help me out with math. Hey, 916, you can always help Allen Stiles out with math. I am not too proud. Well, Kyle, you had my back as well.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, two games.
I'm the little bit of a math nerd.
There you go.
But yeah, I think it would be 47.78 or something like that wins. So 48 wins. We'll call it 48 wins.
Call it 48 wins. They're what no team had, or in the West. Well, yeah, I don't know about the East either, but no team in the West had 48. It was 47 and then 49. So that puts you there in between, literally in between the Suns at the 6 seed and the Los Angeles Lakers at the 7 seed.
Which this year, I think the Rockets are also 7-5 right now. So it's like a lot of teams in that same group right now. And again, a lot of it's going to level off because, I mean, the Pelicans are our team that everyone thought was going to be in the play-in mix this year, or maybe even for a top 6 seed. And now the Pelicans are completely injured and falling apart. So
yeah.
Maybe the Pelicans get back in the mix. Maybe the Clippers fall back down to earth. Who knows? Like, it's way too early to figure out who's going to be where. But if they get to 48 wins, they're going to be, no matter what, a play-in team.
916, and again, we will have sound from Sam Amick on what boom or bust is for this Kings team as far as going all in and what that looks like. 916 is saying the bench will be more productive if Coach Brown actually uses the bench. We need the bench to step up, and yesterday they did. Sometimes players need an opportunity. Last night and had it with DeMar and Malik not there. That's what we're talking about. That's from Carl Thornton Jr. Full name. Appreciate that, Carl Thornton Jr. There's got to be ways. Mike Brown was forced into seeing what some of these guys had. Obviously, he's been playing Trey Lyles, but the Jordan McLaughlins of the world, Doug McDermott didn't make a shot, but he's a shooter. They're going to fall. And this is who you have, right? The 916 that was talking about the math also had something to say about Monty McNair. Yeah, that's a conversation I am always willing to have. But as far as Mike Brown is concerned in this team, this is the roster. You got to find ways to make it work.
We can't be at the let's talk trade candidates part of the season yet, right? We got to wait.
We're there.
No, we got to wait a little bit longer.
I think I was there last week. Just like on Friday when Smokey's mom says, go get me something from the store. And Smokey says, this ain't enough. And what she said, we'll make it enough. So that is what the Kings are going to have to do. All right, Kyle, the good, bad, and ugly from the Kings defense in the 127-104 victory. The good, the defending and double teaming Booker. I think that they gave Booker a lot of different looks. Sometimes it was Keegan. Sometimes it was Keon. Sometimes it was both. Okay. Sometimes it was Jordan McLaughlin. So I think that it was obviously, it goes without saying, it was easier to sell out on Devin Booker. He had a mini flurry at one point, but for the most part, he was.
Yeah, it was right out of the half. Remember?
Yeah.
They had gone on a 10-0 run to end the half, and then they came right out. And it was like Booker hit a 3-pointer, someone got a steal, or Booker got a steal, and then a transition layup. So it was like 5 points right out the bat. Tie game. They've just erased all the progress the Kings have made. DeRozan was out of the game at that point, so we're like, oh my God, it's tied. There's no DeRozan. The Suns are making a comeback, but yeah, other than that, they did a really good job defending Booker. They did a good breakdown on the halftime show where they were talking about like double teams were meeting him in the backcourt and forcing them to give up the ball, and the big men were double teaming, but still denying the bigs. Like Sabonis was doing a lot of that. Trey Lyles was rotating on that. And I'm looking at the box score again. Nurkic and Plumlee had 33 minutes played and 4 points combined between the two of them. So like big men were able to deny the easy, like Booker finds a big man down low and now you're giving up easy layups, and we're able to get the ball out of Booker's hands, force the Okogis, the Duns, the players that you want taking the shots on the possession.
And that's what they've done. But I mean, and that's the thing where it's, hey, the Kings took care of business. And that's kind of where I'm at with this because, Nurkic, I know he'd been playing well, but he does not play well against Sabonis. Plumlee is a decent player. I think some people might even like him on the Kings in that backup role. But ultimately, they were able to, the defense should, I'll put it to you like this. The defense should have been good because you only really had to worry about Booker cooking you.
Yeah.
Right.
But I feel like it still deserves love because in the Spurs game, I was getting so frustrated with them because if you look at the Spurs this season, if you like watch the tape and look at numbers, outside of Wemby, they have the worst offense in the NBA.
It's not good.
Like with Wemby, they're ranked like 27th in the league. When Wemby is off the floor, they have the worst offensive rating in the league. And I was getting so frustrated that they wouldn't collapse on Wemby, that they wouldn't bring help when he had the ball at the top of the key. And I felt like they deserved love tonight because when it was Booker, who was that singular offensive focus, they were rotating, they were double teaming, they were forcing him to give up the ball in the backcourt. Sabonis almost had a steal at midcourt on Booker. Like, I thought they did a really good job recognizing that that's their offense, and we are going to rotate and deny and do all of that and still shut down the big men, not sacrifice anything and like, oh, we're just going to let Nurkic dunk the ball 10 times. It's like, no, the big men went 1 for 10.
The bad 15-0 Phoenix run, the game was tied at 68-68 before they finally pulled away. Yeah, I mean, look, these guys are NBA players, and their bench isn't terrible. No Grayson Allen either last night, but like we said, Josh Okogie was the player of the game. I mean, he had he had the most points for the Suns. He was 3 of 4 from 3-point range, 10 of 15 from the field. Royce O'Neal was a guy that a lot of Kings fans wanted. Not a great, we should have taken him type of tryout for Royce O'Neal these last couple games against the Kings. But yeah, besides that run where you let Josh Okogie and Ty Washington Jr. and Monte Morris kind of do their thing, besides that run, and obviously Devin Booker, they really did. They kept a lid on it, but that run wasn't great. And the ugly 14 offensive rebounds in the first half. An all-time team franchise, and that is not just the Sacramento era. Kind of bizarre because if you remember, Monty McNair had went to Mike Brown and said, hey, this is going to be a focus, and it had been a focus. Keegan Murray had been doing outstanding on the offensive boards. We already know what Domantas Sabonis does on the offensive boards. So, you don't really think of rebounding as something that can slump or get hot, but or have an off night, but it was a really off night, not just the offensive rebounds. We're talking about the defensive rebounds. So a really off night for the Kings in that way. And Kyle, you sent me that note. That was at halftime. So DeMar DeRozan, who had 5 rebounds himself, he was a part of that. So just, I don't know if the ball just wasn't falling their way, but you got to crash the boards. And it has to be more than Sabonis. Sabonis 10 rebounds, which is hilariously low for him. And I say hilarious because it's funny that that's considered low for Sabonis.
Yeah, it's bringing down the average.
Yeah, it's literally bringing down his average. So he had 10. You look at the rebounding numbers; they don't look bad, but you have a team that is kind of clanking like the Suns because they don't have their guys. It's just I don't really know what to do with it because DeMar DeRozan 5 rebounds, Keegan Murray 4 rebounds, De'Aaron 6 rebounds, Kevin Huerter 6 rebounds, and Trey Lyles off the bench 5 rebounds. So I don't really know what to do with that. Just sounds like they were missing a lot of shots.
But they were also allowing a lot of offensive rebounds. And, Kings fans still are upset about Kevon Looney because of that Game 7 where they gave up so many offensive rebounds. So you don't have to tell Kings fans that there's been problems with boxing out and offensive rebounds in the past. But in order to set a franchise all-time record for offensive rebounds in a half, there has to be some weird stuff that happens. And there was that one possession early in the game.
Oh, Devin Booker just kept back-rimming it over and over again.
They had 4 on one possession, right? It was a missed 3, an offensive rebound. Booker back-rimmed it again. I think Dunn missed one and got a put back. It was like there were 4 on one possession.
Yeah.
But it's an interesting note that as I was going along, I was just like, that's like 11 offensive rebounds. I wonder what the record is for offensive rebounds in a half. And lo and behold, it was they had 13. They had allowed 13 offensive rebounds in a half 3 times in the history of the franchise. One was in 2017, one was 2021, and one was 2022. And they broke that last night in the first half against Phoenix. It's never happened for 14 offensive rebounds. So that's just a statistical anomaly that's kind of fun when you think of it that way. But
it's fun because they won.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. And that's the other fun part is they gave up 14 offensive rebounds and were still winning by 5 at halftime.
Yeah. I mean, the Kings have built bricks in the past. The Suns were building bricks last night, and they were getting more opportunities and building more bricks. But ultimately, the Kings, they do get it done. One note, this isn't necessarily from the defensive side, but 17 turnovers turned into 29 points for the Suns. The Kings were coughing it up. There was just bad communication. It was sloppy. It was a weirdly physical game. There were a couple times where I thought Sabonis, he was getting a little chippy with Plumlee and Nurkic, but 17 turnovers, obviously that cannot happen. You can't let that turn into 29 points and just give the ball up. Not against any team. You better not turn the ball over 17 times against Anthony Edwards and the Timberwolves. And that's a really good defensive team. So you better button that up, and you better button that up quickly, because that could be a problem moving forward. As we continue on in the show, could last night be good for De'Aaron Fox? Kind of a reminder type tour that he is that dude, or could really be that dude. Mike Brown speaks on his aggressiveness and says something that I want everyone's thoughts on, whether or not you agree with Mike Brown, what he has to say about De'Aaron Fox. Sam, we see ya. Please wait patiently, and we will get to you after a couple of these messages. Allen Stiles, Sactown Sports. We'll be right back.
Subscribe to Sactown Sports on YouTube and watch the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Stiles and Watkins, and the Drive Guys, live Monday through Friday from 6 to 6. Plus view archive shows and exclusive content.
Subscribe at youtube.com/Sactown Sports.
The holidays are always a great time to get together with family and friends, but nothing beats the thrill of Stockton Honda's deals. During Happy Honda Days, find the perfect ride in person or online. With over 400 new Hondas ready to go, now is the time to buy at Northern California's #1 Honda deal, Stockton Honda.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
#1 claims based on 2023 total new and Honda certified pre-owned vehicle car sales from American Honda Motor Company sold on report.
Carmichael Dave with a simple question. What are you thankful for this year? So many things to consider, but one thing we can all agree on is a well-running vehicle to get you where you need to go each and every day. Jiffy Lube would like to say thank you to all their customers this November. Whether a weekend road trip to Lake Tahoe or your daily commute to work, Jiffy Lube has you covered. Serving the greater Sacramento area since 1984. Visit jiffylube.com today to find a location near you, generous oil change coupons, and more. Happy Thanksgiving and holiday driving from Jiffy Lube.
Hey, what's up, Sacramento? It's Kyle Draper. Turn up the cleanliness at your restaurant, healthcare, or industrial business with Alsco Uniforms, the official sponsor of the Sacramento Kings Mop Crew. We've got you covered with crisp uniforms, hygienically clean linens, floor mats, and of course, mops delivered weekly. But that's not all. Alsco Uniforms also offers weekly services for first aid and restroom supplies. Discover why it pays to keep clean with Alsco Uniforms. Just go to alsco.com to learn more. Again, that's ALSCO.com.
Facts are facts, and the facts show that for eliminating hip, knee, back, leg, and foot pain, it's the Good Feet personalized arch support system, clinically proven to provide significant pain relief in only 4 weeks. Good Feet arch supports are designed to help put your feet and whole body back in pain-relieved proper alignment. Good Feet arch supports are HSA and FSA eligible. Book your free fitting at Good Feet in Sacramento, Roseville, and Vacaville.
Coach Doug Christie here for your truck headquarters, Folsom Lake Ford. Shop all your favorite models on sale now, like America's best-selling F-Series. Check out a huge selection of Mavericks, F-150s, and Super Duty trucks, or tech-filled SUVs like Explorers and Expeditions. Plus a huge selection of Broncos and Bronco Sports. All in stock now at Folsom Lake Ford in the Folsom Auto Mall. Right now, buy any new Ford with 0 down on approval of credit. Save big with low interest finance rates. And Folsom Lake Ford always pays top dollar for your trade. Hurry to Folsom Lake Ford in the Folsom Auto Mall, a 6-time Triple Crown winner for sales and service excellence. That's why they are my trusted dealer, and they should be yours too. For 35 years and counting, come down and take a test drive today. Tell them Coach Doug Christie sent you, or shop online at FolsomLakeFord.com.
flagship station for the Beam Team, Sactown Sports.
I'm not going to do the fake breaking news thing that Carmichael Dave does, but no, don't do it. Don't, Kyle. But we do have some Kings news as we've been going. I really appreciate all the texts and Sac chats, and we had Sam on the line. Sam, you can call back if you'd like, but I really appreciate all the intense convos we've been having about your Sacramento Kings. But we're gonna lighten up the day a bit, all right? Because
why?
The Kings' new City Edition jerseys come with a new mascot, and the City Edition jerseys have been released. I think they look pretty cool. They are kind of a royal blue, red, and white. They say Kings. I'm just looking at Sean Cunningham's post on Twitter, and Keegan Murray is the model. It's got a red stripe going down the side. The blue is, I feel, slightly darker than royal blue, but it is nowhere near a midnight blue or anything like that. It's got the Kings on the front in white with a red trim, and yeah, their jersey number in a red trim as well. But the news that is taking the Kings world by storm is that when they wear these City Edition jerseys, they come with a new mascot named Royale. Roy space and then Al, obviously a play on Royal. But yes, Royale, and Royale is wearing the jersey with red long sleeves underneath. It is a big basketball head with a crown. People are saying he looks like Mr. Met. Is there going to be copyright infringement? Royale is so. What does Slamson do on these nights? Does he take a night off? Are they both there? Because I love Slamson. My wife loves Slamson.
Yeah, Slamson's great. There's also Dunkson, which is the G League mascot too. So we're throwing a lot at people right now with this. If people haven't seen the photo, I'm trying to find a way for us to show this mascot on the screen because
yeah, it's a basketball head with the crown.
Sure.
Some big eyes.
Yeah, but it looks like an evil version of the Syracuse mascot.
Yeah, you're right.
It looks like an anthropomorphic version of the Syracuse mascot. Like,
do you think people? I think people are going to ride for Slamson. I think people are going to say, "Where's Slamson?"
Are they going to be together? Is this going to be like a crossover event?
They better be.
Or do they exist in the same cinematic universe?
Like Always Sunny crossing over with Abbott Elementary.
Oh, can't wait for that. 3 weeks away. We're only 3 weeks away.
Yeah, look, no disrespect to this guy and his family. He looks like a cool cat, but
his family, who is his family?
I don't know. Maybe he's related to Slamson.
Do we have to create lore for this new mascot
maybe
now?
Is he Slamson's grandfather? I don't know what's going on here.
How do you get from this to Slamson? How does the mascot genetics work?
Love is love, man.
Sure.
It's love. Go check out Royale. Like I said, I'm seeing it from Sean Cunningham, Fox 40. We love Sean.
It's something. I'll tell you that.
Great.
The mascot is something. Here, let me see if we can
go. You work on that, Kyle.
Share it with people. But yeah, it's something, all right.
Yeah, it is something. The City Edition jersey. I mean, the jerseys themselves, you break those down. I think they look cool. I think they're nice. I love the blue. I love the red. Keegan's got on white shoes. I don't know. I haven't seen a colorway. I haven't seen a De'Aaron, a Curry Fox 1 colorway that matches these. So there could be some clashing, but he might need to get something cooked up. But yeah, I think everybody's going to like the jersey. Look, man, people are creatures of habit. I don't know. I don't know if they're going to love Royale. I mean, it's a great name, though. Let's be honest. It's a great name.
Is his name Al? Because no disrespect to all the Als out there. I feel like
Roy.
Is his name Roy or Al? Like, is Al a great name for a mascot? Like you've got
Roy?
I don't know about that one either. Is his name Mr. Al or is Mr. Al his father? I don't know.
I don't know.
There's too many questions left unanswered.
You leave it to me. I know people in the building. I'm going to make some calls. I'm going to say, hey, we're getting some questions about Royale. Where is he from? What's he like to do? Who is he related to? What is the origin story for one Royale? How often are we going to see Royale? I'm reading all these comments on Sean's post. Someone, not going to lie, I really like the jersey. Someone else saying, please don't tell me they got rid of Slamson. Another post, so disrespectful to Slamson. Yeah, a lot of people. Someone else, Slamson ain't going to like this. Yeah.
Don't the Kings also have an inflatable, like, tiny Slamson that runs out on the floor sometimes? There's a lot of mascots going around in this Kings universe.
So I had a feeling that this thing wasn't just completely random, and it wouldn't make sense if it was, because obviously it's going to match up with the throwback. So I'm seeing here Royale, the new mascot for the Sacramento. Well, this is AI, so we'll hold on, but Royale is a new mascot for the Sacramento Kings, inspired by the historic Cincinnati Royals logo featured on their City Edition uniforms, essentially bringing the team's legacy symbol to life as a mascot character. Royale is a play on the royal aspect of the team's history. Some key points about Royale. Based on the Cincinnati Royals logo, the mascot design draws inspiration from the old Cincinnati's logo, which is part of the Sacramento Kings historical lineage. The City Edition uniforms connection. Royale mascot is primarily associated with when the Kings wear their City Edition uniforms, which feature their vintage Cincinnati Royals design. New addition to the Kings mascot roster. While the Sacramento Kings primary mascot remains Slamson, everybody can relax, remain Slamson. Royale is a new character introduced to celebrate the team's history. Does everybody feel better now?
Okay, so if you're watching on YouTube, you can kind of see his face in the background of our faces at this point. And
all right, that's creepy, Kyle.
You know what? I'm leaving it this way because all you need to see is his face and his giant eyebrows. But it's pretty. Okay, so if you've seen the old Cincinnati Royals logo, yes, it is basically just the Cincinnati Royals logo anthropomorphized. But you know what? I think there was a reason that logo went away in the first place. Like
it's not going to be there all the time.
It was creepy by 1960s standards.
I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it. He's like an in-law or like an uncle or an aunt. He's going to hang out from time to time, and when you see him, you show him a good time, and then they leave. That's it.
Okay. If you say so. I don't know how to feel about this old Royale coming into our lives like this. I wasn't expecting this because what happened to the 03 jerseys? Like, I thought that was supposed to be
There's 14 jerseys in here. I can't keep up.
Can we get new ones so I can take that Keegan one home with me? I want the Keegan Murray 100th anniversary one from last year so bad, but I was confused because I thought the classic jerseys with Doug Christie and Mike Bibby dunking on a 7-foot.
I think they're wearing those too. Last season they wore 6 different jerseys.
So are they wearing those? I'm pointing as if the people can see me. So the one that's in the corner, that's Malik Monk with the purple and black colorway.
The one that looks like Kentucky with purple.
Are they wearing those anymore?
I feel like that answer is no.
So then the other ones are the classics, and these are the City Connect?
You got classic, you got classic city, you got classic double city, you got classic county, you got classic state, you got new state, you got old state, you got historic state, you got historic city.
You've got classic Elk Grove Metro.
You got City Connect, you got County Connect. You got, that's all I got. Country Connect as well.
Country Roads Take Me Home. There's, anyways, okay, if they want to go with the jerseys, fine. The mascot, it looks like a deflated basketball is what I'm going to say. It looks like a fuzzy deflated basketball.
Somebody says 916 My old friend broke it down like this. The red and blue is a great colorway, but should be saved for throwbacks. The city edition should pay tribute to the city. We are built on purple and built on the beam, in all caps. Purple city jerseys. Well, maybe next season.
Not to be technical, but the beam's only been around 2 years. We're not really built on the beam.
Well, it's purple. All right.
The part that is weird is it's the 40th anniversary of the Kings in Sacramento, right? Mm-hmm. But then why are the City Connect, whatever these jerseys are, the Cincinnati Royals one? I felt like if there's going to be any year to do it, this is the year to do those throwbacks, which I thought they were doing because I thought the Doug Christie and Mike Bibby dunking on a 7-foot hoop 2003 jerseys were the City Connect jerseys.
Look, the more jerseys, the better. All right. I'm not complaining. Okay. I don't care what you call them.
Yeah.
Just make them available.
I want a green one. City of Trees. Can we do that?
Okay. Well, now you're getting a little
This is what I'm saying is like, you can do as many jerseys as you can.
They represent.
I'm still just stuck on the mascot, honestly. I don't even have qualms with the jerseys. Like, I'm trying to make it a thing. It's just the mascot. It's piercing into your soul. The creepiest mascot.
Halloween is over.
The creepiest mascot out there, I think, is the Atlanta Falcons mascot with the eyes bulging in. But this one, it's like the eyes to eyebrow ratio is just a little
Kyle is
bit
not
intense.
A fan of Mr. Royale. If you want to come on the show, we have no qualms with Mr. Royale.
Please, Mr. Al was my father.
Yeah, please. We do not. We would love to have you on, Mr. Royale. We are going to give you a shot because we want to celebrate the history of the Kings. Mr. Royale, a new mascot for the Sacramento Kings, inspired by the historic Cincinnati Royals logo featured on their City Edition uniforms, essentially bringing the team's legacy symbol to life as a mascot character. Royale to play on the royal aspect of the team's history. So shout out Mr. Royale. And the bottom line is those jerseys are fire. Those jerseys look really good. So whether Mr. Royale is there and maybe Mr. Sampson can kick it with them as well. All right, on the other side, the 12 o'clock hour coming up, and we still have plenty of Kings talk to get into. Could this be good for De'Aaron Fox? Last night, a reminder that he needs to be that dude. Last week, Keegan Murray said the best version of this team is an aggressive De'Aaron Fox. And we get into that conversation that Mike Brown had as far as, is De'Aaron Fox the best blank in the league? Allen Stiles, Sactown Sports.
Domantas Sabonis plays here.
He finds Sabonis, put the frosting on the cake, put the cherry on the sundae. Sabonis with a two-hand flush, makes it 114-106.
Sactown Sports is your proud home of the Sacramento Kings.
Total Wine and More. Find bourbons and Cabernets that you adore.
With curbside pickup and delivery available and the lowest prices for over 30 years, you'll always find what you love and love what you find. Only at Total Wine and More.
Drink responsibly, B21.
Power Business Technology is proud to be 100% independent, locally owned, and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a 2022 Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729. Or visit us at powercopiers.com.
Get year-end pricing during Happy Holidays at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop for great pricing on our entire selection of new CRVs, HRVs, Ridgeline Civics, and Accords. Plus, with low finance and lease options, now's the time to buy. Hurry in and save during Happy Honda Days at Folsom Lake Honda, or go to folsomlakehonda.com.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop. Thunder, feel the thunder.
It ignites something inside of you.
Lightning and the thunder.
Sets alight an elevated state of being. Days are pure exhilaration. And the nights, they're simply electric. See it, hear it, feel it.
Thunder, feel the thunder. Lightning and the thunder.
Thunder Valley Casino Resort. Feel the thunder.
What's up? We're talking to Chad Hoblet of Hoblet Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Woodland. Chad, what's going on for Ram Power Days?
We are finishing the year strong by stocking up on new heavy-duty Ram trucks with over 300 available. And with savings up to $17,000 off MSRP, your perfect Ram truck is waiting at Hoblet.
That's some pretty big savings on those hard-to-find heavy duties.
Yep, and you won't find better deals on more Ram trucks than at the Hoblet Ram Truck Center. There's a reason we continue to be one of the biggest Ram dealers in the country, with numerous customer service awards, including the very prestigious Walter P. Chrysler Award, which means we are in the top 1% of dealers in the nation. Once you buy from Hoblet, you won't buy anywhere else.
Don't miss the savings at Hoblet. Search, select, and save through their whole inventory at HobletDodge.com. Unbeatable prices, unbeatable selection. Nobody beats Hoblet, period.
17,000 total net savings on select new 2024 Ram 2500 tradesmans after 10,500 factory rebates and 6,500 dealer discounts. Rebates include 3,000 Hoblet select inventory coupons, 500 on-the-job upfit incentive with proof of business ownership, and 2,000 Hoblet trade-in assistance for eligible trade-ins. 5 of this net savings, see dealer for details. Sample VIN 238277.
Don't you deserve healthcare you can count on? Well, you can count on United Healthcare with Medicare plans that fit your life today and as your needs change tomorrow. You can enjoy reliable coverage and low out-of-pocket costs with a Medicare Advantage plan from United Healthcare. United Healthcare Medicare Advantage plans, made for California, trusted everywhere. The Medicare annual enrollment period ends December 7th, so go to uhc.com/Medicare today.
Finally, an easy way to find home improvement contractors. Just visit subcontractorsunited.com and simplify your search for home services professionals. From cabinets to windows, roofing to plumbing, Subcontractors United is an easy, simple way to find and hire a home improvement contractor. And you never have to give up personal information. So no harassing phone calls like you get from those other websites. Subcontractorsunited.com is sponsored by D&D Cabinets and Savage Design.
Whitey here reminding you that not all grills are created equal. Give your family a real treat. Bring out all the flavors of the upcoming holidays with the amazing Napoleon Prestige line of outdoor cookers. Napoleon grills have features other grills can't match. They're built different, built better, built to last, complete with a lifetime warranty. All made with premium steel that boasts absolute quality. Just because it's November does not mean we can't barbecue outside. Visit California Backyard now for your best selection of grills and Napoleon Grills accessories.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sactown Sports, 1140. Your home for Kings basketball for over 25 seasons.
Sactown Sports.
2 hours down, 2 to go. First 2 hours filled with made threes, DeMar DeRozan conversations, and the emergence of a new mascot, Royale. You know, look, man, I'm gonna give Royale some grace here. I know how it feels to be the new guy in an area and in a city, and you know everybody has their feelings. So me and Royale, we're gonna get along.
I think you guys
fine.
are gonna be friends.
That's right. Me and Royale, we're gonna get along just fine. We are about to get into from Mr. Royale, from mascots to snakes, as we talk about the head of the snake, De'Aaron Fox. But Dan wants to be a part of the mascot conversation. What's up, Dan? You're on with Allen Stiles. What you got?
Hey, I just had a question about the mascot. I mean, probably more a comment. One of the things I have always liked about the Kings is that they had a nice, respectable just a mascot that you could be proud of, instead of one of these bugle mouth, orange feathered, crow's footed that a lot of the other places have. Mm-hmm. I just think it's we go to Royale, that's just kind of, to me, it's coming down a notch or two.
Well, it's not. He'll only be there for the City Edition games. Slamson isn't going anywhere.
Wait, he can only be there for games where they have his uniform?
I don't know. What I'm reading is, while the Sacramento Kings primary, and thanks for the call, Dan, While the Sacramento Kings' primary mascot remains Slamson, Royale is a new character introduced to celebrate the team's history. It says the Royale mascot is primarily associated with when the Kings wear their City Edition uniforms, which feature their Cincinnati Royals design. So that sounds like he's not going to be there every night.
So what happens the rest of the time? Do they just block his key card? Is he not allowed in the building?
Right. Yeah.
They turn off his key card when it's not there? Is he the Capital One guy in those commercials where he just sleeps in the building whenever no one's there? It's just like he's down in the tunnel and then they awaken him whenever they need Royale to come.
Yeah, is he like, who was it? Harrison Ford in Star Wars, he's just frozen, and then you just unfreeze him when it's time.
They have to release him from the cage at the end. That's Jesus.
There you go.
This is very fun. I like this.
I know you like this too much. This has been your favorite segment so far.
Oh, of course. This is the perfect day to be here. Is the day that the Kings unveil a new mascot that looks like if they turned Deadpool into a cartoon character.
Look, leave Roy alone, Mr. Royale. All right. We will take your texts, your calls, your sack chat, of course, on Mr. Royale. But we're going to get back to the basketballs that are on the court, not the basketballs that are heads of mascots, as we discuss De'Aaron Fox and whether or not we talked about DeMar DeRozan as it pertains to just some of the other role players. But what about De'Aaron Fox as it pertains to his kind of relationship, if you will, with DeMar DeRozan? It was outstanding a couple games ago where you saw in Phoenix where it was DeMar DeRozan taking over in the fourth, De'Aaron Fox in overtime. And funny enough, going into those games, everybody earlier in the show, Kyle, you mentioned that DeMar DeRozan taking the most shots, when in reality, it was actually De'Aaron Fox who's still been taking the most shots. It doesn't feel like that when you're watching because of the amount of free throws that DeMar typically takes, but De'Aaron Fox has been taking the most shots. Now, it was the shot selection I think we've had questions on, and his aggressiveness to get back to the cup, where he is getting to his mid-range, those short mid-ranges that he shoots at a ridiculous percentage, getting to the cup as far as laying up the basketball, not being afraid to go to the free throw line versus taking three-pointers off the dribble. So it's not so much, and the question has become, well, did De'Aaron think that he needed to shoot more threes because of the spacing? And if you look at DeMar and Sabonis and all percentage points to the side, and I know yesterday we talked about who's the best three-point shooter on the team. If you look at those three, you would look at De'Aaron Fox to be the one to space that floor at a consistent rate versus a Sabonis or somebody like that, because he's actually going to pull the defense out. Doesn't matter if Sabonis hits 3-4 threes, they're still going to let him shoot the threes. So is De'Aaron taking those threes because he feels like he's got to be the spacer when we're discussing that big three? But last night, De'Aaron, because other guys were making threes, De'Aaron felt, what did he take, Kyle? What did I say? He only took 2 threes last night. He took 2 threes last night. De'Aaron did, was one of 2. The lane was open, and he said, it's the Autobahn, baby. I'm going to get to the lane as much as I need to. And here is Mike Brown on that aggressiveness that he had last night.
No, this is what we need from Fox. He's the fastest guy in the league. He's the best guard finisher in the league. But our spacing has to be right, and our spacing was pretty good tonight, Matty. I mean, when it's there for him, he'll get downhill. And it's up to us to make sure that happens, and then it's up to him to make sure he stays aggressive, getting into that paint where he is deadly.
There you go, where he is deadly. Now, we can all agree De'Aaron Fox, what was the highest three-point percentage of his career last season. We can all agree that you're gonna need to have a point guard that can shoot the three ball in this day and age. But you can use it as a counterpunch, and I think where we arrived with De'Aaron Fox for the last couple games and even going back to last season, it had become less of a counterpunch and more of his main punch, his main form of attack. So De'Aaron last night, I don't know. I don't want to get in trouble anymore for people thinking I'm talking bad on DeMar DeRozan, so I'm not even going down that path. But De'Aaron and his ability to get to the lane and to get in the paint the same way he has in years past, that's what we like to see. The one thing I wanted to focus on, Kyle, and we had a couple names listed out or just at the top of our mind, is when Mike Brown, and we want your thoughts on this as well, 916-339-1140 call line, text line, is when Mike Brown said those words, and he said best, De'Aaron Fox, the best guard finisher in the league. I heard that. I don't know if it went over anybody else's head, but I thought that's interesting. I mean, that's a fairly bold claim because De'Aaron isn't really that high flyer, and he stops short a lot of times to get to that mid-range. Are you buying what Mike Brown is selling?
He's top 3. It's the Aaron Gordon quote. He's top 3, and he's not 3, and he's not 2. I mean,
you think he's the best guard finisher in the league?
I'm saying you can make a case. I'm not going to say definitively he is, but you can make a case he's on a short list at the very top. I mean, it's the
list here that I have, it's only 2 off the top of my head, and I think some people would say Trae Young deserves a shot. Some people would say Steph deserves a shot, to be honest, but I have Ja Morant and Kyrie.
Yeah, Ja Morant and Kyrie. So let me ask you this. Do you qualify Luka in that group for being able to finish? Because he doesn't get to the rim a lot, but from that, 4 to 6 foot range.
But that's De'Aaron too. Yeah, that's De'Aaron too in a way. He doesn't really float it, but he's taking middies and he's right there next to the rim. But I feel like you have to, and Luka is a guard. So you got Ja, Kyrie, Steph, Luka, Fox. Are we missing anybody?
I mean, you mentioned Trae Young. I think Trae Young deserves some love just for some of the plays. Guard, forward, hybrid, but I'd give Jaylen Brown some love, but the problem is he can't go left as often, but going to the right, Jaylen Brown is as deadly as they come. I know he's kind of a forward, but I would
Anthony Edwards. I don't think he's really good at a lot of things. I don't think he needs to be in that category.
The one that I'm curious your opinion on, because I feel like I just don't know, is Shea. Where does Shea Gilgeous-Alexander fit?
He's not finishing. He's going to the line.
I know, but you could say the same thing for Luka and Trae Young, and I would say
I'm not putting Shea over De'Aaron Fox. No.
So I think we've got our 5, right?
Yeah.
I think we've got our 5. I'm not saying De'Aaron Fox is number 1, but I'm saying it's a real short list. It's a real short list that De'Aaron Fox is on. And to Mike Brown's point, fastest guy in the league. I don't think we have a ton of argument against that in terms of Fox being one of the fastest in the league. Now, you could argue some of those guards with fresher legs in their second or third year are going to get there in terms of pure speed, but acceleration, I think Fox is right up there with the best in the league. And you combine that with the finishing ability. I mean, it's a unique skill set, right? And someone on the Sac chat earlier was talking about how Fox was an assassin in the mid-range last night. It's like, yeah, Fox has been that for years, right? It's just, it's felt different because DeRozan is the best mid-range shooter in the NBA. And when you add that to the offense, you notice him taking that mid-range jumper more often. But Fox is still after that bucket, just get it to Fox in transition, pull up at the free throw line, that floater. It's a run stopper that is just as good as any in the league.
530, Fox is a better finisher than Ja and Kyrie, not even close. LeBron is maybe the only better finisher. Well, we were talking guards. We haven't even talked about
I was gonna
non-guards.
Say some forwards.
Yeah,
man.
I'm not doing that.
Giannis might be the best finisher at the rim ever.
Yes.
Right? We could go into the forwards and the centers, but that's a different game because they're banging bodies with 6'8", 6'9", 6'10" guys in the paint.
Yeah, 530. I like we said, we can agree that Fox is one, but to say it's not close between Ja and Kyrie, and look, I am in no way, shape, or form a Kyrie guy. I will say this about Kyrie: there might be we might be to the point. I know he had 40 a couple nights ago against the Nuggets, but we might be getting a little closer to grandfathering in Kyrie into a lot of these conversations where he shouldn't be. Maybe the conversation is Fox, Ja, and Shea, and I'm putting Kyrie in there because of historically it's been Kyrie. I could agree with that.
Well, this is the thing that happens is that guys get older and physically they wear down, and so it's harder to finish in the rim because you're taking a lot of contact when you get inside. I mean, not to go back to the LeBron well over and over again, but LeBron did that about 4 or 5 years ago, where he was the best finisher at the rim in the league. And he had to change his game because after years of incredibly being healthy and never having a major injury, he had the calf and the knee injury his first year in Los Angeles. And after that, he kind of had to switch up his game, right? So,
yeah.
And Fox is going to have to do the same thing as he gets older.
He already has, too. I mean, he was more of a high flyer early on. I mean, it's his 8th season, so we would expect it. But, yeah, he's definitely top 3, and he's probably not 2. There is an argument for Ja, but honestly, if you want to go there, you want to talk about availability, then it's easily De'Aaron Fox. If you want to, Ja, it can't stay on the court.
And if we bring in the second point that Mike Brown was making, is like, Fox is still the fastest player in the league, or at least has the best acceleration in the league. So it certainly gives him an advantage when you're talking about exactly what they're talking about here, which is aggressively attacking the basket, 15 2-point shots, a ratio of 15-2 in terms of 2-point shots to 3-point shots in this game. And he ends up with 29 points and was a plus 19. So, like, that's what, in that specific skill that De'Aaron Fox has, I tend to agree with Mike Brown that if you take it in totality, he has a skill set that is, if not one of 1, 1 of 2, 1 of 3, 1 of 4 in the entire league.
Spees the Breeze on Sack Chat. Great name. Might be the name of the day. Y'all forgot about Brunson. I think Brunson deserves a shout, but he's another guy who's going to get to the free throw line more so than
Well, so maybe we have a distinct category is the quote unquote foul merchants.
The merchants, the grifters,
because
merchants and the true finishers.
Oh, I like that. I like that.
All right, we'll continue the conversation. Want to get it? This is going to be huge. Sam Amick was on the morning show, and they discussed the bench, and they discussed make or break, what this season could mean if things go well, if they don't go well, and what the definition of going well is. We hear from Sam Amick from the morning show when we return. Allen Stiles, Sactown Sports.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave for American Energy Heating and Air with a question. Have you recently had a technician diagnose your HVAC system and you were a bit surprised at how much it cost? Or did something seem off about their quote? Because at American Energy, they take pride in giving you honest, straightforward solutions to get that system up and running. Have their qualified technicians come out and give you a free second opinion. It's free. You got nothing to lose but some dollars off of that original quote. They're making the uncomfortable comfortable. They've been doing it since 1981, serving the greater Sacramento area. A+ with the Better Business Bureau. That's why they keep having customers coming back for more and more and more. You can call them and set that appointment at 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
It's time to check out Capital Casino, conveniently located at 411 North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento.
Your flagship station for the Beam Team, Sactown Sports.
Sam Amick, great writer for The Athletic, joined the morning show as he does every week and had some things to say about the Sacramento Kings and that bench, okay? Not just the bench. What does success look for them and what happens if they don't achieve it? We talked earlier about what they're on pace for. They're on pace for about 48 wins right now. And we talked about how the evolution of this Kings offense is still happening. They're not there yet. So here is Sam Amick from the morning show and his thoughts on the current state of the Kings.
They are just way too thin in the second unit. I wonder, and we're still early in terms of trade season and real intel coming our way. But, I do wonder what they're going to do because it's funny. I was just watching the Netflix Starting Five show this morning. I was kind of chipping away at it. And, Sabonis has got a lot of good behind the scenes insight in that show that kind of reminds you that like this is a 3-year journey for this team where, the footage I just watched this morning was when they lost to the Pelicans in the play-in game. And it just really kind of underscored, like he had a line about how it's cliche, but true, where he says, I believe that you have to have struggle, before you kind of grow and get through it and rise. And so like, we've said it all along. This is a really, really important season for this team. And whether it's improving the roster in the kind of way that gets them where they want to go, or the guys just simply playing at a higher level than they did last year, it feels very much like a make or break deal.
In other words, making the play-in. What do we call that, Sam? Is make or break winning a playoff series? Is make or break making the playoffs as a top 6 seed as they did a few years ago? Do you have a definition in your head of what would make this season from either a front office standpoint or even a Vivekian standpoint?
Vivekian.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, honestly, it's got to be at least winning a playoff series.
There you have it. Got to be at least winning a playoff series. And I would say, no, that is not getting out of the play-in. That is not you win that game against the Pelicans last season. Or yes, exactly. So
that is a wide gulf. That's the difference between fourth. Well, technically, it could be the 3rd best team in the West or the 10th best team in the West.
Yeah, it doesn't really. I guess it doesn't. To Sam's point, it doesn't really matter how you get there, as long as you get there. So I asked the question 916-339-1140. What is make or break to you, right? And I'm probably with Sam because that's just not something they've done in a very long time. We know that a lot of these things aren't chronological, as we've discussed the Nuggets, how you could go to a Western Conference final, then lose in the second round, then you win a championship, and other teams, you lose in the first round, you go to the play-in, then you do get to the second round, then you miss the playoffs, and then you go to the finals. These things don't always happen in chronological order. For me, I'm right there with Sam. You got to win a playoff. You got to win a playoff series. You have to get to the second round. If you have DeMar DeRozan, if everything that we believe about the Kings is true, you have to get to the second round. If you have a future Hall of Famer in DeMar DeRozan, somebody you want to call elite and be a part of the elite guards that are all around the league right now in De'Aaron Fox, somebody that you want to be a part of the elite conversation as it pertains to big men and centers and Domantas Sabonis, somebody that you think is the 6th man of the year in Malik Monk, somebody you think is one of the best young players, 25 and under, and Keegan Murray. I know it's a tough West right now, but you got to get to the second round. We're not even saying Western Conference Finals. We're definitely not even talking about finals. You got to stay out of that play-in, or even if you go in the play-in, come out of it and find a way to get to the second round, or else you're going to be looking like people in relationships when you've been together for a very long time and you live together, and whether it's the guy in the relationship, the girl, whatever it is, the person that says, where is this going? And that's what's going to happen if the Kings don't make that next step. All right, 916-339-1140. Joey wants to be a part of the program. Joey, you're on with Allen Stiles, Sactown Sports. What you got? Joey? Joey, are you muted?
No.
Oh, there you go.
No.
We got you now.
Oh, there you are.
Yep.
Okay, sorry, man. Hey, no, what I wanted to say is that, at what point do we start asking Monty? Because I would love to understand what Monty's thinking behind, the beginning of the season, the drafts, the way he puts this team together. I would want to understand and ask him flat out, what are you thinking? Because we passed on a couple of good drafts. Correct me if I'm wrong. I thought we had a chance to get Dalton Connect.
Yes. Do not get me started on Dalton Connect, Joey.
Well, no, but that's the truth. That's the truth of it. That's what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
Stuff like that. Why? Why would you pass up on stuff like that? We need a longer team.
Yeah.
You know that the Pelicans have destroyed us because we couldn't get past them. You know that we need less guards, more wings.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we know this. I just want to know what his thinking and his reason for doing it. That's all.
Yeah. No, thanks for the call, Joey. And if you've been listening, you know I wanted Tejan Salon, which that might be a miss. We'll see. But I definitely wanted Dalton Connect. And if you were there with us at Public House, Kyle, you were there. I was a broken man.
When you ran out of the building and Nate chased you like a WWE cameraman and was chasing you down the street.
I wanted him so bad. And I'll give you this. Devin Carter was shooting yesterday, and he looked really good. There was some video going around. Actually, Tristy Rodriguez, who's going to be on in about 7 minutes here, Tristy got the video for us, or for herself, and posted it for all Kings fans to see. And I'll tell you what Monty would say, because this is essentially what he has said about the decision for Devin Carter. Monty said that was the best talent available. They do not look, or they were not looking at position, length, whatever you want to call it. They were surprised that Devin Carter was there. They decided to take him. Then we found out after the fact that they knew that Devin Carter was injured, but they still felt like they were going to get a bargain, if you will, with Devin Carter. That's what they said. 916. I know we got to get to the other side, and Trissy is going to be with us on the other side. 916. I hope you record this show. Yes, we do. You can check it out on Sactown Sports app, or you can check it out on YouTube. I hope you record this show, because Carter is going to make you guys eat your words on this one. I'm not a huge Monty fan, but there's been plenty of opportunities to get bigger, longer wings. He did the right thing on this one, and probably only time, I think they were going to say, only time will tell. I hope you're right, 916, and he did look good last night. We'll see, and he can guard three, so we're excited about Devin Carter, but we'll see what happens. Khalil Ware, another big guy I wanted. I'm looking here; he's getting 7 minutes a game, so it's a gamble, right? It's a draft, it's random. So they thought they got the best talent. Only time will tell. Tristy Rodriguez of NBC Sports joins us on the other side. Allen Stiles, Sactown Sports.
You know how it goes down, man.
Sactown Sports 1140 has you covered all year. Listen to every Sacramento Kings game and stay up to date on all Kings news on SactownSports.com. Or listen to our live and local shows.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Stiles and Watkins, and The Drive Guys.
We are your home of the Sacramento Kings. Sactown Sports 1140.
Everywhere you look, things are getting more expensive. So at Consumer Cellular, we're lowering the price for those 50 and up. Now you can get unlimited talk, text, and data for $30 a line when you buy two. That's just $60 a month for 2 unlimited lines. So if you're 50 and up, make the switch and save. Come on, you've earned this. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com today. Requires 2 lines of service, age validation, and credit approval, subject to system and area limits, taxes, and other fees apply.
Not to brag, but Progressive's Name Your Price tool is mankind's greatest tool ever. Even better than the wheel. Sure, without the wheel, we wouldn't have modern transportation or funny videos of dogs riding skateboards. But without the Name Your Price tool, we wouldn't have easy access to auto insurance options based on our budget. And, well, cars do need wheels. They also need insurance, and insurance never goes flat. Learn more about the greatest tool ever, the Name Your Price tool at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law. Not available in all states.
The Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop is your unsurpassed spot to find the hottest golf gear, best pricing, and elite expertise. Every club on the shelves can be tried for free on the driving range. 3 TrackMan units and a Hagen Oaks team of skilled fitting professionals provide the finest club fitting experience. Our personable Super Shop staff will show you the newest to help you look and play your best. You love golf. The Hagen Oaks team loves golf too. Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop, Fulton Avenue at Business 80. Learn more at hagenoaks.com or 916-481-GOLF.
The holidays are always a great time to get together with family and friends, but nothing beats the thrill of Stockton Honda's deals. During Happy Honda Days, find the perfect ride in person or online. With over 400 new Hondas ready to go, now is the time to buy at Northern California's #1 Honda dealer, Stockton Honda.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
Based on 2023
total new and Honda certified pre-owned vehicle car sales from American Honda Motor Company. Sold on report.
When it's all on the line, you need a big-time closer. That's especially true when it comes to your garage door. That's why I proudly recommend National Garage Door. Whitey Gleason here for National Garage Door. And whether you're looking to repair an existing door or get a brand new one installed, you need National Garage Door. Family-owned and operated. They've been around since 1974 because service is their number one priority. National Garage Door are the region's BSE broken spring experts, and the styles, prices, and quality of the new doors will amaze you. I know they amazed me. Our garage door was starting to sound kind of like a box of scrap metal tumbling down the stairs. So Kevin from National Garage Door came out. He said patching up the old one was an option, but we're going with a new garage door, and we're as excited about that as you can be about a new garage door. National Garage Door sells quality Rainer-branded garage doors. They offer sales, service, and installation on all residential and commercial doors and operators. If you have garage door needs, old ones coming apart, or you're looking to improve your curb appeal, let National Garage Door come through for you in the clutch and be your closer. 338-4554 National Garage Door.
It's time for the Sactown Sports live events calendar, the hottest live events lineup just for you. Kicking things off for comedy fans, don't miss David Spade bringing his sharp wit to Hard Rock Live Sacramento on November 22nd, followed by the hilarious Russell Peters lighting up the stage the next night, November 23rd. Then get ready to feel those good vibrations with the legendary Beach Boys on November 24th at Hard Rock Live. And for classic rock lovers, the Black Crowes are rocking the same stage November 30th. All of these are brought to you by our friends at Live Nation. The original Jersey Boys, Midtown Men, are bringing their holiday show to Thunder Valley on December 8th. Then kicking off the year in style, country stars Dylan Scott and Jackson Dean are hitting Thunder Valley on January 10th. And the one and only Bill Engvall will be there too, cracking up the crowd on January 11th. Don't miss these incredible events coming your way, and stay tuned for more info. To get details, head to SactownSports.com.
Facts are facts, and the facts show that for eliminating hip, knee, back, leg, and foot pain, it's the Good Feet personalized arch support system, clinically proven to provide significant pain relief in only 4 weeks. Good Feet arch supports are designed to help put your feet and whole body back in pain-relieved proper alignment. Good Feet arch supports are HSA and FSA eligible. Book your free fitting at Good Feet in Sacramento, Roseville, and Vacaville.
Your flagship station for the Beam Team, Sactown Sports.
As promised, we are joined by Tristy Rodriguez of NBC Sports California. Tristy does great work for them. You can check out all of her work on NBCSportsCalifornia.com. Tristy, thanks so much for joining us. I know you're driving back to the Yay area. We appreciate you taking the time.
Yeah, of course. Thanks for having me, guys. Hopefully it's not too staticky or anything.
No, well, you're good right now, Tristy. And speaking of good or bad, I know you've been driving. Real quick, have you got a chance to take a look at the Kings' new mascot, Royale?
I have. Yeah. How could I have not, right? I logged on to Twitter and, yeah, see it all over. Yeah, interesting ways for me to wake up. I like the jerseys.
Yes.
I will say that.
Yes.
But yeah, definitely interesting.
Interesting.
I don't know how Slamson feels.
Yeah, I know. I think at some point maybe they'll stage a fight. I mean, what we're doing with boxing nowadays, it wouldn't be the worst fight I've ever seen. But yeah, a lot of people are trying to defend Slamson, but you know, like I said, Tristy, I know how it is being a new guy on the block. So, you know, I got to show love to Royale, and I'm sure we'll both see him at one of these games. All right, let's get to stuff on the court. Let's talk about the three-point shooting, the Kings' highest percentage that they've had all season long, and it hasn't been close. They hadn't even got to 40% prior to last night's 53. Prior to last night, how worried – I know we were both in the pregame interview together with Mike Brown, and he talked a lot about it. How worried were you about the three-point shooting, and are you still worried if you were?
I mean – I feel like worried is a little extreme. It's definitely, it would be naive to look at this team and be like, prior to last night, and be like, yeah, you know, it's not concerning. But like, it's funny. You mentioned the press conference waiting for Mike Brown pregame, and me and Tony were talking. We're just like, what is this team's identity? They're not shooting well. They're really whatever, blah blah blah. So we're going on about that. Mike Brown comes out and he's just like, well, I'm still confident in my guys. I believe we have good shooters. Blah 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 blah. Same thing. I'm just like, and I'm leaving the room and I'm like, how can he like look at this team and still have so much confidence in their shooting when the numbers don't lie? It's not just 1 or 2 games where we're seeing bad shooting. It's been the entire season. And then he shut me up real quick. They, have the best shooting night of the season. And I'm like, okay, like I'm looking back at the last time when I was writing my post-game story, I'm looking back at his pregame post and I'm like, wow, like, he knew what he's talking about. He sees these guys. It's mostly the same guys from the past 2 seasons. He knows, and we know that they're capable of shooting, but I think it was okay and right of us to be a little bit concerned about it. But yeah, I mean, I feel better about it after last night. The offense as a whole just looked like Sacramento Kings offense should. And so I'm feeling a lot better about it.
Talking to Tristy Rodriguez of NBC Sports. Yeah, a little bit more on last night, Tristy. We were going back and forth on DeMar DeRozan and whether it was because DeMar wasn't playing or he only had taken 2 shots in the first half. What specifically looked different to you? We were trying to put a finger on it. Doug Christie talks about the ball having energy. Did it just feel like there was more of a flow last night?
I mean, yeah, I think I was thinking about it, and I'm just like, wow. Like, De'Aaron Fox, he shot career high 3-point percentage last season. We know he's fully capable of, shooting the 3 ball at a high clip, but his percentages have been low this season. And last night, he just had 2 3-point attempts. He played his role as a point guard perfectly. He drove to the paint, and from there, just with his speed and just his aggressiveness driving to the paint, the options are endless for him. And it's so lethal because, just like I said, with his speed, when he gets to the paint, he has so many options. He can shoot the ball, he can get to the basket, he can dish it out to Sabonis or whoever's cutting, dish it out, spray it out, right, like Mike Brown says, to Huerter or Keegan on the perimeter. And I feel like he did that so well last night. And of course, like I said, we know he's capable of shooting the 3 ball, and he will continue to do that, as he should. We know he's a good 3-point shooter. But I think what was different last night, at least from my point of view, is that he didn't settle for the 3. He wasn't so he didn't rely so much on shooting the 3-point shot. He drove to the basket, played his role as point guard, created for himself and created for others, and I think that's where we saw the difference in the offense flowing.
Talking to Tristy Rodriguez, NBC Sports. Tristy, help me out here. People were coming down my road because I wanted to have the conversation about the usage of DeMar DeRozan and how he didn't play. He didn't shoot. He only shot twice last night. He only played the first half, and all of a sudden now the Kings shoot 53%. Maybe it's a one-off. We'll find out tomorrow and in the games to come. How would you assess DeMar DeRozan, and do you think maybe last night could unlock a new version of the Kings where it's not as DeMar DeRozan, the sustainability isn't the same, where it's not as dependent on DeMar DeRozan?
You sound like that guy that was on the podcast. There's DeMar DeRozan.
No, stop. No, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that.
No, I don't. I mean, I'm not a coach. I don't know what they're going to do. Like you said, we'll see what moving forward, how they use him and how that changes. But like, you can also flip it the other way around, and like they played this exact same team just a few days ago, and who was the one that helped them get to overtime? Like, it was DeMar DeRozan. He has helped this team win lots of games by himself. He's put this team on his back several times to, lead them to victory. And last night, the team returned the favor in his absence. And that's how I view it. I don't think, things should be adjusted. But like I said, I'm not a coach. Mike Brown's really smart. He's really smart with his offense and the way they utilize guys and, their roles and stuff. But like you said, I guess we'll just have to see. I just personally don't think, anything should drastically change with DeMar's role.
Tristy Rodriguez, thank you so much. You got Kyle shaking his head back there. I guess I will agree. No, in agreement. So I guess I will agree for now. But all right, you thought I wasn't going to let you go. I mean, you're headed back to the Bay. You do great stuff for NBC Sports. Look, I know you're feeling good, and I'm not going to say congrats, but I'm glad you got to enjoy your team finally winning a legitimate World Series, the Dodgers. I'm not happy for the Dodgers. I'm not congratulating you, but I am glad you got to see a real ring like the rest of us.
Hey, I swear I can't do one of these radio hits and someone bring up the Dodgers, but I'll take it. Thanks for the, Allen Stiles compliments don't come often, so I will definitely keep you and run with it. And thank you. I will be showing you my Game 2 photos next time I see you from the World Series.
Oh, please do not. Please do not.
While your team continues to miss the playoffs. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Tristy Rodriguez. Get there safe. We will talk to you soon. Thanks for the time.
Thanks.
That was Tristy Rodriguez of NBC Sports. Be sure to check out all of her stuff on NBCSportsCalifornia.com. Also on Twitter. She is a great follow on Twitter, on social media. So be sure to follow all things Tristy Rodriguez. When we return, we take a trip around the NBA. Allen Stiles, Sactown Sports.
Did you miss any part of our live local shows? Don't worry, you never have to miss them again. Check out SactownSports.com and search our podcast page and play our shows when you want. The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Stiles and Watkins, and The Drive Guys. Plus, other podcasts like Return of the Empire, Return of the Roar, The Stingers Up podcast, and Golf to Go with Frank LaRosa.
They're all available right now on SactownSports.com.
Wesley is a truck driver.
I drive a truck, and I love what I do.
A truck driver with IRS troubles.
They told me I owed them $43,000.
It got really bad.
Quite a few letters in the mail. They were talking about wage garnishment, coming after my house, my car. Yeah, they don't play around. I seriously thought that I was going to lose everything.
One sleepless night, Wesley finally made a call to Optima Tax Relief at 2 a.m.
Kind of figured I'd get a machine, but I didn't. I actually got to talk to an actual person in the middle of the night.
He found just what he was looking for.
Oh, they were great people. You need a team of people that know what they're doing. Optima Tax, they know what they're doing.
Optima Tax Relief came through with flying colors.
I saved an incredible amount of money. Happy don't even come close. I was absolutely overjoyed.
Take Wesley's advice.
If you're in any kind of trouble with the IRS, call Optima Tax Relief. Don't trust anybody else.
Call Optima for a free consultation. Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
It's Black Friday all month long at Sacramento Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. When buying a car, getting a good deal, it's kind of the easy part. Where Sacramento Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram really sets themselves apart from anywhere else is the experience, from sales to service and everything in between. It's why so many people keep coming back to Sacramento Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. It's because it's the place where a handshake still means something. And if you've been wanting to experience that Jeep life, there's no better time than now. SacSuperstore.com, located off of Business 80 across from Hagen Oaks Golf Course.
Hi, this is Greg Papa. Disasters hit every day. If your home, business, or building has suffered from any disaster, SunPoint Public Adjusters can help. SunPoint prepares, presents, and negotiates your claim with the insurance company, working only for you, making sure you get everything you're entitled to and letting your focus be on what's most important, your family or your business. Call SunPoint today at 888-247-7865 or contact us at sunpoint.us. SunPoint Public Adjusters, the gold standard in public adjusting.
License number 2N14884.
Hey, Aggie fans, head coach Tim Plow here. Join us in Shredville November 16th for our final home game of the season as we take on the Montana State Bobcats, 5 p.m. This is your chance to send off the seniors in style that have given all for the football team. Football in the fall is what it's all about. So bring your friends and family out to UC Davis Health Stadium and let's get the stands rocking for an important game. Get your tickets today at ucdavisaggies.com/tickets. Go Ags.
What's up? We're talking to Chad Hoblet of Hoblet Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, and Woodland. Chad, what kind of savings do you have going on right now?
We have the best savings yet on one of America's dream cars. Right now, save up to $13,000 off MSRP on all remaining new 2023 Dodge Charger SXTs in stock, starting as low as $28,215.
Oh, man, there is nothing more fun than an American muscle car, especially one as iconic as the Charger.
They're definitely one of the most fun vehicles you ever drive. But remember, this huge savings isn't just on new Dodges. We have over 200 quality used cars available, and over 40 under $20,000. Right now, only at the Hoblet Certified Pre-Owned Center in historic downtown Woodland.
Hoblet really is your one-stop shop for the best deals on whatever vehicle you need. Search, select, and save through their whole inventory at HobletDodge.com. Unbeatable prices, unbeatable selection. Nobody beats Hoblet, period.
13,000 total net savings on select new 2023 Dodge Charger SXT after $39.20 factory rebates and $9,080 dealer discount. Rebates include 1,000 Hoblet Select inventory coupons. Only 5 vehicles at the savings. See dealer for details. Sample VIN 666-710.
Tom's Watch Bar, your ultimate sports watching destination for all Kings games, hosted live by Sactown Sports. With 360-degree viewing, surround sound, premium food and drink, and game day vibes that match being at the game, Tom's Watch Bar is the ultimate game day experience for all Sacramento Kings fans.
Live and local, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., Monday through Friday. Sactown Sports.
Thank you again to Tristy Rodriguez. Great stuff there. We will have her on again very soon. Yeah, I thought that one thing Tristy mentioned that made my ears perk up a bit, Kyle, the De'Aaron note, and how you talk about the slashers on the team and the ability to spray. De'Aaron's speed is such that he gets to the paint so quickly that it's almost like De'Aaron sprays are just a different level than other sprays. All of them are essential. All of the ball handlers are required to spray the basketball to touch the paint. But when De'Aaron's taking threes, that means he's not getting to the paint and spraying the basketball. And last night he was, and we played it at the top of the show, he was the one doing most of the spraying, and it's just different than a Keegan or a Kevin Huerter. So you need a health, and then he can finish if he wants, or he can spray it out to someone. So you need a healthier diet of that, and that is something that we haven't seen.
Yeah, I'd be curious. I don't know if this stat or data exists somewhere, but for De'Aaron Fox assists, I'm curious where the shots of the players he's assisting are coming from, right? Like what percentage are...
Oh, it's out there somewhere, I'm sure.
Yeah, I would just be curious, and that would be a longer search than I can do in 3 minutes. But like, I'd be curious, like, how much of that is dunks at the rim? How much of that is spray threes to the corner? How much of that is 3-pointers on the wing? How much of it is fast break? Like, I'd be curious where assists are coming from, because I think you're right. I think when Coach Brown is emphasizing spray threes so much, different players get assists on spray threes or find players for spray threes in different ways.
Yeah.
Fox is running a baseline and finds Keegan in a corner. Kevin Huerter's maybe not making that pass, or Domas is not making that pass. Domas is working from the center. So I would be curious what that looks like.
All right, it's time to go around the NBA.
All right, let's go around the NBA. Big night in the NBA last night. First and foremost, Giannis Antetokounmpo dropped 59 points on the Detroit Pistons, and it took Ron Holland missing 2 free throws at the end of the game for the Bucks to pull out a win. This came after earlier in the week, Giannis put up, I think, 43 against the Celtics, and the Bucks lost by like 10 points. They're starting Taurean Prince, Andre Jackson Jr. They're getting bench minutes from undrafted rookies. Like, I've said this for like a little bit now. I think it might be time to sign, seal, and deliver on the end of this Bucks run here.
And nobody really talks, and I know I'm not doing the feel bad because these guys are millionaires, and this guy's from Oakland, so that's where Tristy's probably headed right now. So I got a special place in my heart. But you got Dame Lillard, who finally leaves the Blazers. He was essentially bullied into leaving the Blazers. I truly don't think he wanted to. I think he just liked hanging out in Portland, rapping and winning some games, or should I say he wanted to try to build something in Portland. He goes to Milwaukee. The first year is a mess. They fire their coach. He's injured. Giannis is injured. You talk about yes, they have Bobby Portis, who we all want on the Kings, but you talk about the Kings having a thin bench. the Bucks just have a thin everything besides Giannis and Dame. Chris Middleton can't stay on the floor with whatever is left. He's been injury prone. So what a weird situation for Dame. He should get out of Dodge. I don't know what happens to Giannis, but it's no disrespect to the Pistons. They're playing really hard. They're not as bad as last season, but yeah, it's a nightmare out there.
I'm still going to reaffirm the same point. Dame should have been in Miami. Like the fit, the trade, I understood why Milwaukee made it, but if Damian Lillard had ended up in Miami, I don't know if it would have gone great.
Yeah.
But it would have gone way more smoother than ending up in Milwaukee because it would have been him and
Bam.
Jimmy and Bam and they would have revolved it. They still would have had Caleb Martin at that point, but eventually,
maybe Tyler Hero goes, but
sure. But then they bring in Jovic, who's now starting 2 years later.
Right.
Maybe Jaquez is still there after the trade. It's just like they set up Damian Lillard in not the best situation, and it's gone way worse than I thought it was going to go. But I also didn't think the Bucks were going to have this steep run. At this point, it's over. At this point,
yeah. Who's going to stop this pick and roll? You are. You are.
Yeah, the problem is less so those two. It's the availability, and they just keep doubling down on the oldest roster in the NBA.
Yeah, and Brooke Lopez is making over $20 million, and nobody's touching that.
Yeah, Chris Middleton got an extension, but he's almost done with that. But still, it's like you can't just let him walk for nothing because you've got no reinforcements on the way. It's signed, sealed, and delivered. It's just about done for the Bucks.
What's next?
I bring up Giannis hasn't won a playoff game in 900 days.
Wow. All right. What's next?
Next up, if Kings fans felt bad about Victor Wembanyama putting up 34 points, 6 rebounds, tied a career high 6 3-pointers on Monday, well, guess what?
Yeah.
Last night, Wemby, 50 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, 3 blocks, a steal, career high 8 3-pointers on 15 attempts. It's time to cancel Christmas with this guy. Like it's about to be over for the league.
Yeah, and you know what? It was just last week or maybe 2 weeks ago. There was an anonymous scout saying the problem with Wemby is his offense. Obviously, he's really good defensively. And look, the scout wasn't necessarily wrong. He says that Wemby just wants to chuck up threes. The only difference is now he's hitting them, right? So I still think Wemby needs to figure out who he wants to be, but if he keeps hitting threes at this clip, I guess it won't matter.
If they just get a second competent scorer,
just go get Trae Young.
Sure, go get Zach LaVine. Just a competent number 2 would change the game so much for him.
Yeah.
All right, next up, Cleveland Cavaliers are now 13-0 to start the season. That's now the 4th longest winning streak to start a season since the ABA merger in 1976. I think it's the 6th all-time. Cleveland is 9 deep and really good.
Yeah.
And look, it takes a second for teams to kind of figure stuff out when you have new players coming together.
Right.
Knicks haven't been all that. We'll talk about them in a second. We've kind of seen the Pacers have been up and down this year. Like, Cleveland and Boston are far and away the top 2 right now. And I don't know what new thing there is to say about Cleveland because I know you guys have been on this show talking about Cleveland for the past 3 weeks.
Well, and that's what's funny because during the offseason, everyone thought that Cleveland was going to blow it up. And the report that came out, Darius Garland, if Donovan Mitchell is here, I'm gone. And, is Allen going to be available? Or are you moving off of Mobley? And you go and you get Kenny Atkinson, who has that championship DNA. He also coached Jared Allen in Brooklyn, and all of a sudden things are working. So, it's very similar, Kyle. You said the Knicks. I was going to bring up the Timberwolves, right? I mean, you had that group of talented players with the Cavs. Not that it didn't work last season. They were still in a position to do some things, but to get to where they want to get to, they had some drama, and now it looks like they've taken the next step. We'll see how real it is, but that East right now is a bit of a mess, and the Cavs could easily be the 1 seed.
Yeah, and I just didn't see this type of improvement given the Cavs didn't add anybody back. I mean, you could say in the playoffs last year, Mitchell got hurt, Jared Allen missed the series against Orlando, so maybe that was why that series went 7.
Right.
I thought Cleveland was going to be a 4-5 again and just kind of mixing it, and they still might, but it's probably going to be Cleveland and Boston, and they're going to be above the pack for much of the rest of the next 2 months. And they have such a huge lead.
Everybody talks about Celtics defend. The Cavs can get after you too. Cavs can defend the basketball too. So I think that'll be fun to watch. And we won't sleep on the Knicks, but they might be that next season could be their season to figure things out.
They're in the alternating years of Jalen Brunson's healthy, Jalen Brunson's not healthy. It's like alternating year to year. And also, we've seen how when Karl Towns is putting up 30 and 10, what's the quote Draymond had? Karl puts up 40 points in a loss.
Right,
It's the Karl Towns special. There's a lot of that going on with the Knicks.
There you go. What's next?
Speaking of the Knicks, did you see how their game ended last night?
I did not.
Okay, so they're playing the Chicago Bulls. It was 121-121. Jalen Brunson hits a go-ahead bucket with 4.5 seconds left to play. So it's a 2-point. So it's 123-121. This is the final Bulls possession, courtesy of the Knicks broadcast. Here's Mike Green.
And away from the play foul. Kitty looking. Levine can't get it. Finds Kobe White. Shot blocked, but a foul behind the arc. Josh Hart fouling behind the arc. 3 free throws, and the Knicks do not have a challenge.
So they fouled Kobe White on a 3-pointer, and guess what? Kobe White went up to the line, hit 1, hit 2, hit number 3. Chicago Bulls pull off the win, 124-123. Josh Hart had a bunch of quotable moments after the game, and I'm sure the roommates podcast will be addressing
he's too busy pod. I can't wait to talk about it on his pod. Give me a break. Give me a break.
So the Knicks blew one at the end. It's obviously we're playing the audio, but if you watch the clip, it's like Brunson hands on his head, Hart hands on his head, and Anunoby hands on the hips. It's like all of them are just like stunned that they committed the foul. And it's not like you can argue it. It's clearly a foul. It's just a dumb move by Josh Hart.
Well, funny enough, last but not least, I just mentioned how we haven't seen any crazy scoring games yet this season. Literally say that on yesterday's show. And last night, Giannis, 59 points. Wemby, 50 points. Karl Anthony Towns, 46. Jordan Poole, the pool party, 42. Jason Tatum, 36. LeBron James, a 35-point triple-double. Cade Cunningham, 35 points. And Elk Grove's finest, Jared McCain, 34 points, a career high. So I just talked about it, and I said I haven't seen any crazy scoring, and here we are.
You know what else is weird? Everyone played yesterday, and there's only one game tonight.
I know.
It's so weird, but everyone played, and Poole was against Wemby, so it's like Wemby had 50 and Jordan Poole had 42. It's kind of crazy.
And nobody talked about it. So we're going to talk about it here. We just did on the other side. Top stories at the top of the hour. Allen Stiles, Sactown Sports.
Total Wine and More. Find bourbons and Cabernets that you adore.
With curbside pickup and delivery available and the lowest prices for over 30 years, you'll always find what you love and love what you find. Only at Total Wine and More.
Drink responsibly, B21.
When an overwhelmed injury victim calls Ashton or Price, we immediately remove their legal burden and introduce them to the very best medical care in the region. They focus on their health and we handle all the rest. When they reach the end of their medical journey and are reunited with happiness and hope, we unleash our decades of legal experience to obtain maximum compensation. We are real, local, experienced litigators and snappy dressers too. Consultation's free and there's never a fee until we win.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton and Price.
Carmichael Dave with a simple question. What are you thankful for this year? So many things to consider, but one thing we can all agree on is a well-running vehicle to get you where you need to go each and every day. Jiffy Lube would like to say thank you to all their customers this November. Whether a weekend road trip to Lake Tahoe or your daily commute to work, Jiffy Lube has you covered. Serving the greater Sacramento area since 1984. Visit jiffylube.com today to find a location near you, generous oil change coupons, and more. Happy Thanksgiving and holiday driving from Jiffy Lube.
At Elk Grove Honda, our recipe for happy holidays is to think happy Honda days. Let's explain. Happy is a good thing. We all like happy. Honda stands for quality, reliability, comfort, design, peace of mind, value at resale, and a lot more feel-good words. Days is how long you have left to take advantage of Elk Grove Honda's year-end clearance underway right now. Elk Grove Honda is located in the Elk Grove Auto Mall, Highway 99 at Elk Grove Boulevard, or visit us at elkgrovehonda.com.
I gotta get an Elk Grove Honda.
It's Capital Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room, and guess what? Primetime football is back. Capital Casino is giving away $500 per game in high hand bonuses for every Sunday, Monday, and Thursday night primetime game. As always, offering the best food, the best service, and the best action with the most variety of games in the region, conveniently located in downtown Sacramento. So check them out, Capital Casino, and always remember to gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
Fall is here, and as winter approaches, your health and comfort are our top priority at Advanced Infusion Center. Whether you're managing a chronic condition or looking for IV therapy, our personalized treatments are designed just for you. Our dedicated team ensures your care is safe, comfortable, and supportive every step of the way. With locations in Sacramento and Yuba and flexible scheduling options, getting the care you need has never been easier. Discover compassionate care at Advanced Infusion Therapy today. Visit us at advancedinfusion.com for care close to home.
The holidays are always a great time to get together with family and friends, but nothing beats the thrill of Stockton Honda's deals. During Happy Honda Days, find the perfect ride in person or online. With over 400 new Hondas ready to go, now is the time to buy at Northern California's #1 Honda dealer, Stockton Honda.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
Number one claims based on 2023 total new and Honda certified pre-owned vehicle car sales from American Honda Motor Company. Sold on report.
Whitey here reminding you that not all grills are created equal. Give your family a real treat. Bring out all the flavors of the upcoming holidays with the amazing Napoleon Prestige line of outdoor cookers. Napoleon grills features other grills can't match. They're built different, built better, built to last, complete with a lifetime warranty. All made with premium steel that boasts absolute quality. Just because it's November does not mean we can't barbecue outside. Visit California Backyard now for your best selection of grills and Napoleon Grills accessories.
Only one radio program captures the excitement of hunting and fishing as it happens. The award-winning California Sportsman with Sep Hendrickson. Only California Sportsman takes you where the action is. Live on the water, live in the blind, and live with the top pros and experts in outdoor sports. California Sportsman with Fishing Hall of Famer Sep Hendrickson is your premier destination for all things outdoors. Sep's Saturday Morning Outdoors. Ultimate Bass and California Sportsman, 5 a.m. to 8 a.m. Saturdays on Sactown Sports 1140.
The sewer system. It's probably the last thing on your mind, and that's okay. Because at the Sacramento Area Sewer District, it's our first priority. As the region's largest sewer utility, we own and maintain thousands of miles of sewer pipe. And our job is to get to your sewer problem before it interrupts your life. So whether you've got a slow drain or a backup, call us first, day or night. The Sacramento Area Sewer District. It's a dirty job, but we're happy to do it.
KHTK HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Sactown Sports 1140.
Time to check out Capital Casino, conveniently located at 411 North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento.
The only station in Sacramento giving you local sports coverage from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. Sactown Sports.
One more hour with you. We're about to get into some top stories at the top of the hour. Yeah, a lot of people wanted to have a conversation. This was before we had Tristy on, but Wise Fool 114, but they are 415 on the Sac chat. Good afternoon, guys. I'm on the same page with Joey, our caller from earlier, in regards to Monty McNair. The man seems to be lost in what he's doing. He was not a fan. Wise Fool was not a fan of Monty's response. And I do remember what Monty said when Monty was asked about the Pelicans, and Monty said, other teams will have to adjust to our style of play. Yes, he did say that, and a lot of fans didn't love it. I'm not even necessarily saying that I loved it, but we're 12 games in, 7-5. You look like you're gonna be in the mix. Maybe you just unlocked something last night. But yes, I completely understand why there are certain fans that did not love that quote, and especially when 415 goes on to say this is a make or break season year for the Kings. You got De'Aaron passing on the extension, and these are the results you're seeing. Well, De'Aaron is also in control of these things as well. He's got to make all that. He turned it down because he thinks he can get all NBA. So everybody's got a piece of this pie, and everybody is going to have some responsibility. I don't think we've seen, and I think what got kind of lost in the sauce with the DeMar DeRozan conversation is that ultimately what I'm saying is I just don't think we've seen the best version of this team yet. And I don't think the best version of this team should be DeMar DeRozan scoring 30 a night, 25 a night. I don't think that's what it should be. I think that you look at what the Celtics have done and you talk about the balance that they have, that's what we're looking for. You know, and again, I think it should be De'Aaron. If anybody's going to be scoring 30 points a night, that's who De'Aaron should be at this point in his career. So it was never a slight on DeMar DeRozan. I just don't think that I don't think we saw the best version of the team last night. I just don't think we saw the best version of the team the games before it either. They got to get there, and I believe they will get there, but they got to get there sooner than later. All right, let's go to top stories at the top of the hour. Some big stories coming out here, Kyle. First, let's get to Victor Wembanyama, Mr. 50 Burger himself, talking about Greg Popovich and his health.
My thoughts are, of course, a bit worried about Pop, but at the same time, I know I haven't talked to him, but I know what mindset he's on right now. I know he's working like crazy probably and trying to come back with us as quick as possible. So I trust him. I trust the people taking care of him right now, and I hope it's only I hope he's not going to be away from us for too long.
There you go. That is Wemby again. Wemby's so young, having to handle the weight. I mean, LeBron knows better than anyone, but the weight of a franchise, and now this happens. So Wemby just essentially just trying to do his best to just power through, really. That's all it is.
Yeah, and I don't know how much they were cued into what was happening either, because they had kind of kept it on the real down low about what was going on. But, if that's them truly finding out all, the details about what's happening, then that's a lot to take in and figure out. If you know that he has a health issue and he's going to be away, but now the details, it's a lot to work through, especially when it's someone who is in a position of leadership, and then you take it a step further to be that person in leadership, and what Greg Popovich is to the Spurs organization and basketball at large. It's like the embodiment of leadership is someone who is now fallen, and that's a lot to handle, whether you're 20 years old or anyone else.
Next on the list, Kyle, coming off the heels of that terrible hurricane damage, the Tampa Bay Rays plan to play the 2025 season at Tampa's Steinbrenner Field. That is the Yankees' Steinbrenner Field, of course, their spring training facility. And, I saw a couple people in Sacramento kind of victory lapping this, if you will, for lack of a better term, just about, hey, I thought what we're doing isn't sustainable. Look at what the Rays are doing. I mean, a little bit of a different situation. They have literally their ballpark got destroyed by a hurricane. So I don't think this is the time to say, see, they're doing it too. That didn't happen in the Bay Area and Northern California. These were decisions that were made independent of what Mother Nature did.
No, to equate this to what John Fisher is doing with the A's is disrespectful.
It's ridiculous.
I mean, Oakland, or I guess the Athletics,
yes,
are doing this on their own volition. No one is making them have to play in a minor league baseball stadium for 3 seasons in a different city, both than where you came from and where they're going next to Las Vegas. I mean, at least you said Steinbrenner Field is relatively in the Tampa area. Like it's not that far away from where they would have been playing otherwise in St. Petersburg.
Right.
Yeah,
exactly.
So there's a difference there. They chose the most major league ready field within the vicinity of Tampa, which makes
because they get big crowd. That's the one where people will. I guess the only thing off the top of my head I can equate it to is when you go to spring training in Arizona, you're a Giants fan, right? That's their version of that. I know Yankees fans, they will flock to Florida for those games to get ready for the season. So we're not talking about a single A stadium or anything like that.
No, we're talking about a major league capable stadium.
Yes.
Oh, buddy, enjoy those Septembers down there. I've been to Florida in September before. Enjoy those Septembers when they have to play at 1:00 p.m. in the afternoon.
Yeah, next up, Kyle, Caitlin Clark. And by the way, I said this to Kyle before the show. I said, Caitlin Clark is all of us golfing, as we mentioned. And Kyle goes, speak for yourself. Now, I've never golfed with Kyle before, but as we know, Caitlin Clark, a part of that Pro-Am. So we have the sound as she is out there playing at the Pelican Club. We have the sound from her teeing off, and there are people. It is just like a normal golf tournament with pros. There is a ton of people on the left. There is a ton of people on the right, and we have the sound of her teeing off and what happened. Whoops. So she hooks it. She's righty. Hooks it to the left. I mean, more of a line drive hook. And there's another video, I don't know if you've seen this, of a person that's videoing it where the ball came, and they drop down to get away from the ball.
From a ball coming at
From
your head.
the ball, yes, coming at... That is my nightmare. If I'm ever, Jason Ross is always in these celebrity golf tournaments and Carmichael Dave as well. I can't wait to do it, but this is my nightmare. That's my nightmare. That's my nightmare.
Yeah,
and she did stripe the second one, it looked like, though.
You got to do it like me. Just hit it straight down the middle, but you can only drive it 150 yards, You just got to do old man golf and just hit it down the middle and give up 70 yards on your drive.
Yep, the sorry is what got me as well. Hold on. Sorry.
Yep, you got it. It's right. Whoops. That's funny.
There you
That's
go.
funny.
All right, Caitlin Clark, you'll be okay. Sorry. Barstool has announced that they've signed former NFL head coach John Gruden to a multi-year deal. Now, if you know anything about Barstool, he probably was nowhere on their radar. He starts doing these obnoxious TikToks. I'm feeling nicey and yelling, who, and things like that. Next thing you know, it's probably a multi-million-dollar deal. So get in where you fit in. John Gruden kind of makes sense at Barstool. Again, like I said, if you know anything about Barstool.
Yeah, I'm just gonna let that story go. They can do their thing on the side, and I guess this is John Gruden's way of getting some cash.
Well, it's funny because I'm pretty sure a report came out earlier this week that John Gruden was trying to get back into the NFL. So maybe he's going to try to be less shtick-y on Barstool and prove that we all know he knows football. That's been hardly the issue with John Gruden. So who knows? I'm not in a rush to check out what it is, but I'm sure it'll find its way on my timeline. Next up, Kyle, NBA on TNT. They're continuing to try to figure out what's going to happen. And this is from Front Office Sports. Settlements are generally financial as they try to agree to a settlement between the NBA and TNT. Settlements are generally financial. However, one intriguing option could involve the league awarding TNT a smaller but face-saving fourth rights package that could ensure the future of a legendary studio show inside the NBA and its superstar host, Charles Barkley. Back in June, before the new rights deal was announced, Front Office Sports had heard from sources this was a possibility. So we're not done yet. We're not done yet. They have not gone fishing yet, if you will.
Does anyone really want this at this point? Like, at this point,
I don't know.
it feels like the inside guys have moved on.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like we're resigning ourselves to the fact that Turner's not going to have sports. Max doesn't really want to do the streaming rights deal that's on the table, given the fact that they matched the lesser Amazon deal. I'm just like, can they just settle and move on at this point?
Well, you know what? It's a good point, and I have said this before. If something is meant to go, it's meant to go. And this thing has been so wobbly, and Charles Barkley has been so open about the situation. And then it was, well, Ernie isn't going to leave Turner. So I do wonder if sometimes things run its course, and I do wonder if they force this thing and it just isn't the same in some capacity, everybody will look back almost like going to a new team. You know, the Michael Jordan, when things don't look right at the very end, it's almost as if it's, are you sure you guys want to force this, or do you just want to go out on top?
Well, and here's the problem is that say Turner gets a smaller rights package, right? Say it's, a handful of games every week and it's only after football season. They're still paying Charles Barkley $12 million a year.
No, he is not taking.
They're paying Shaq $6, $7, $8 million a year. They simply cannot. I mean, unless I don't understand the economics of this thing, they cannot afford to pay those guys what they're making for a smaller rights package. It just
the math. Well, the 916 and you that helped me out earlier. The math ain't math in there. The math ain't math. Okay, Kyle. Last but not least, you had a fun one on pizza. What's going on?
Okay, so real quick, you know how the Kings do the mountain mics if you miss the free throws?
Yeah, we got pizzas last night.
Yep, we got there was like 6 chances to get a pizza last night too. It was like missing the first free throw. So anyways, we were watching the game and someone made the point, Sacramento should be one of the most, like, the biggest pizza cities in America. And so we looked this up, and there's actually a new report that takes into account 5 different statistics: average pizza restaurant rating, percentage of 4-star or 4 or 5-star restaurants in the city, how many pizza restaurants you have per 100,000 people, Google searches for pizza, and pizza reviews. And according to this rating, however they do it, the number 1 pizza city in America, what would be your guess?
I don't know. I mean, Detroit or something?
See, it's a surprising answer. The number 1 pizza city in America, according to those 5 metrics. It's not Jersey. It is Seattle, Washington.
It's because it rains so much. That's why they don't want to go out. Just bring me the pizza. That is random.
Apparently, they're cooking up good pizza up there in Seattle because they had the highest score by two whole points, according to this system. I don't know how they got the rating system, but they scored 83. Second place, San Francisco, and Sacramento came in at 19th place.
Hey, that's respectable. They like their pizza too. We have so many options out here. There's so much good food, other things that you can eat, but you still love your pizza. And as we say, in football, there is no such thing as bad pizza. That's why football is pizza. We're getting into some pizza, a.k.a. some football, when we return. The battle for the NFC East continues tonight. Commanders versus Eagles. 2 bangers is how Nate put it yesterday for Thursday Night Football with the Bengals and the Ravens last Thursday. And now tonight, you have Jalen Hurts and Jaden Daniels. Who would you rather have? We have some stats to help you out with it, and we have some fun with that conversation coming up next. Allen Stiles, Sactown Sports.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sactown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sactown Sports app.
Everywhere you look, things are getting more expensive. So at Consumer Cellular, we're lowering the price for those 50 and up. Now you can get unlimited talk, text, and data for $30 a line when you buy 2. That's just $60 a month for 2 unlimited lines. So if you're 50 and up, make the switch and save. Come on, you've earned this. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com today. Requires 2 lines of service, age validation, and credit approval, subject to system and area limits, taxes, and other fees apply.
Still getting around to that fix on your car? You got this. On eBay, you'll find millions of parts guaranteed to fit. Doesn't matter if it's a major engine repair or your first time swapping your windshield wipers. eBay has that part you need, ready to click perfectly into place for changes big and small, loud or quiet, Find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. But you already know that. eBay. Things, people, love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Live and local, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., Monday through Friday. Sactown Sports.
Have some information here. It is coming out right now, or this was about 40 minutes ago. DeMar DeRozan did not practice today out of caution. He will be listed as doubtful for tomorrow's game against Minnesota. There is a chance he is upgraded tonight or tomorrow, but it will depend on how he responds to treatment for back tightness. So there you have it. It sounds like he's not playing. That sounds like he is not playing. I wouldn't play him, to be completely honest with you. It's really early in the season, so there is a good chance that you got to take on Minnesota Timberwolves NBA Cup action without DeMar DeRozan.
I was gonna say Styles, but it's a cup game. What last year weren't the NBA like demanding that players play injured for the cup games? You know,
that's true. So
I have a hypothesis about that. That last year the NBA was hyping up this cup like crazy, and now that they've signed their TV deal, they're just like, yeah, whatever, it can exist. We already got the money up front.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't seem like it is on top of a lot of people's minds. I thought it was fun when it got to Vegas, and then the Lakers won and nobody cared. And then the Lakers were 7 seed and then we all cared even less.
Yeah. No, it was fun last year. And the Kings being really good was definitely part of it. I just meant like completely snuck up on me this year. And last year it was like, you couldn't miss it. The NBA Cup debuts tonight and we have special jerseys and special courts.
Right.
And this year I was just like, oh, hey, the Cup starts tonight.
Well, even the commercial is essentially the same commercial as last season with a couple more players.
With new players.
Yes.
Like, I think Anthony Davis is doing it again, which like, sure, get your money, but it's like Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is coming for the Cup. I was just like, okay, whatever. It's no one's hyping it up. They don't even do the special jerseys anymore. I'm glad that they're not pressuring DeMar DeRozan to play because it's a cup game. Is all I'm saying.
Yeah. So DeMar DeRozan doubtful. He could get upgraded to questionable if things go well. Tonight, he did not practice. He does have some back tightness, back soreness. So I would personally be surprised if DeMar plays tomorrow night, but we shall see. You know, DeMar wants to play. I mean, he's really been that steady piece on the teams he's been on, and you know he's going to want to play, but you know you got to look at the long-term effects here. And you know the Timberwolves have been. If the Timberwolves can lose to the Trailblazers, then the Kings should at least have a chance, even without DeMar DeRozan. But it's going to take shooting that is closer to last night than the games prior to last night. Interesting stuff there. And that, just came out about 30, 40 minutes ago. All right, Kyle, just wanted to have some fun because I'm really excited and we got to do our picks here with the game tonight. Thursday night football is normally something that you just kind of get through because it is football and there's nothing better on. And this is a perfect night for it because there's only one NBA game. So it's not like there's Kings on. There's only one basketball game, so you don't have a lot of options as far as sports are concerned. And Kyle, do you know what the one game is tonight for the NBA? Do you know what it is?
I looked it up before. It's the Jazz and somebody.
You're right.
Dallas.
Dallas at Utah. So if that floats your boat, cool. But at least we will have some good football as well.
That on NBA TV or something, I'm guessing. Maybe.
I guess.
Otherwise, it's like League Pass for one game. I assume it's on NBA TV. They put it on NBA TV.
And I don't think it'll be very much to watch. But hey, it's better than nothing. There's probably some college basketball on somewhere you can fire that on.
But nobody cares about that because we've got Commanders versus Eagles.
That's
battle
right.
For the NFC East.
I'm looking here at the standings. The Commanders are at 7-3. The Eagles are at 7-2, so the Commanders can basically put themselves into position for first place if they can beat the Eagles, Kyle. The Cowboys at 3-6 and the Giants at 2-8. But yeah, they are running away with the division. The both of them. Jalen Hurts has been playing outstanding, and Jaden Daniels has really been as advertised. Anybody that has listened to this show knows that I was weary on Jaden Daniels. Not that I didn't want him to work. It just, you never know going out of college what's going to work, what's not going to. I mean, he's a little bit, he's not the thickest dude out there, and he's taken some huge hits in college. He's taken some huge hits in the NFL. I believe he just had the rib issue, but besides that, he's been pretty steady so far.
Let's point this out. He still has the rib issue. He's playing through it, but he still has a rib issue.
That's right. So they're going to do battle tonight. And I think one thing, two guys really I wasn't that high on, Jalen Hurts, only because I thought it was a small sample size. I think what we know now is that Jalen Hurts was not really healthy last season. When you watch him this season and you watch him last season, I'm not saying he was injured, but he was not 100%. Not at all.
Also, Matt Patricia was his offensive coordinator, and I think true. Matt Patricia is like a side character on Bill Belichick's podcast now. Like, the Eagles' offense was a catastrophe last year. If you remember watching it, it was like they only had 3 plays in the entire playbook, and teams just blitzed Jalen Hurts, and they had nothing to do after that. So their offense was so predictable last year that it made it impossible for Jalen Hurts to do the things that Jalen Hurts did well, on top of also being injured, like you said. And now that they have Kellen Moore, they've smoothed things out quite a bit.
The tail of the tape, Kyle, Jalen Hurts leads Jaden Daniels in passing percentage, yards per attempt, and touchdowns. Rushing-wise in attempts and touchdowns, of course, the tush push. Jaden Daniels leads Jalen Hurts in completions, attempts, yards, interceptions, less interceptions, the amount of time sacked. Rushing wise, he's got more yards. He's got more yards per attempt. He's got the longest rushing at 46 yards, and he's got less touchdowns with 4. Who would you rather have tonight?
For one game tonight, I would rather have Jalen Hurts. For the long run, I think I'm rolling with Jaden Daniels, because I feel like who Jalen Hurts actually is probably somewhere in between where he was 2 years ago when he was second for the MVP and last year. Yeah. And I think we're kind of getting that this year. Like, he's kind of like QB7, but I will give him credit. The completion percentage is a career high this year, I think. So evening that out's been a big deal for him. Going into tonight's game, I'd rather have Jalen Hurts, but Jaden Daniels has come back down to earth a little bit. Like, I know people were like, this could be the MVP at the start of the season. And now Jalen Hurts has a better completion percentage than him. And completion percentage was the thing he was hanging his hat on. But I would want Jalen Hurts.
Don't let the Commanders get started out hot and that Philly fan base start booing at the Eagles. They have Sirianni's been quiet because they've been playing well. I'm going to take Jalen Hurts because they're at home. But I could see, if you look at Jaden Daniels' rushing numbers, they've been lower. I think you could, I don't want to say forget about it, but sleep on that. You look up, Jaden Daniels starts scurrying around, and then he chucks one up to McLaurin, and then the Eagles are having to play from behind. But I think the Eagles will take care of business, and therefore I will take Jalen Hurts specifically tonight. All right, prop talk and straight up predictions on the other side. Allen Stiles, Sactown Sports.
The only place you'll find Kevin Huerter is Sactown Sports.
Huerter's open, steps into 3. He's got the triple.
Hey, Sacramento, it's Kevin Huerter, and you're listening to the home of the Sacramento Kings, Sactown Sports.
Your local sports leader.
DC here, and if you've been thinking about a new car, you got to see my friends at Folsom Lake Kia. You can always count on low payments and zero down deals with approved credit. Folsom Lake Kia, over 25 years, right here in Folsom.
Stop. That dog does not want to be petted.
Just a little heads up before something bad happens.
Move your coffee cup away from your computer.
Oh, no.
So you can have more control.
Stop. You're texting your boss by mistake.
Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. With early diagnosis and a few healthy changes like managing your weight, getting active, stopping smoking, and eating healthier, you can stop prediabetes before it leads to type 2 diabetes. It's easy to learn your risk. Take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Warning, the cap is loose on that catch-up.
Don't wait. You have the power to change the outcome. Visit doihaveprediabetes.org today. That's doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its Prediabetes Awareness Partners.
Tom's Watch Bar, your ultimate sports watching destination for all Kings games, hosted live by Sactown Sports. With 360-degree viewing, surround sound, premium food and drink, and game day vibes that match being at the game, Tom's Watch Bar is the ultimate game day experience for all Sacramento Kings fans.
At Elk Grove Honda, not only do we have a great selection of pre-owned certified cars at very fair prices, but every one of our pre-owned automobiles are treated with kid gloves with a 182-point inspection that covers everything from unibody to tires to brakes and engine filters. Then our certified cars receive a mobile oil change and fresh fill-up with full synthetic mobile oil. We know you have lots of choices of where to purchase your next car. Come to Elk Grove Honda, home of the 182-point inspection and mobile oil change. We're in the Elk Grove Auto Mall, Highway 99 at Elk Grove Boulevard.
What sets Ashton & Price apart from other injury law firms? I'll tell you. From beginning to end, all important legal decisions are made directly between our clients and their experienced local attorney. A gate agent flying the plane, the receptionist performing surgery, not a chance. There's simply no substitute for the unique power of the direct attorney-client relationship offered by Ashton & Price. And there's never a fee until we win, and between you and me, we win a lot.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton and Price.
Facts are facts, and the facts show that for eliminating hip, knee, back, leg, and foot pain, it's the Good Feet personalized arch support system, clinically proven to provide significant pain relief in only 4 weeks. Good Feet arch supports are designed to help put your feet and whole body back in pain-relieved proper alignment. Good Feet arch supports are HSA and FSA eligible. Book your free fitting at Good Feet in Sacramento, Roseville, and Vacaville.
When it's all on the line, you need a big time closer. That's especially true when it comes to your garage door. That's why I proudly recommend National Garage Door. Whitey Gleason here for National Garage Door. And whether you're looking to repair an existing door or get a brand new one installed, you need National Garage Door. Family owned and operated. They've been around since 1974 because service is their number one priority. National Garage Door are the region's BSE broken spring experts, and the styles, prices, and quality of the new doors will amaze you. I know they amazed me. Our garage door was starting to sound kind of like a box of scrap metal tumbling down the stairs. So Kevin from National Garage Door came out. He said patching up the old one was an option, but we're going with a new garage door, and we're as excited about that as you can be about a new garage door. National Garage Door sells quality Rainer-branded garage doors. They offer sales, service, and installation on all residential and commercial doors and operators. If you have garage door needs, old ones coming apart, or you're looking to improve your curb appeal, let National Garage Door come through for you in the clutch and be your closer. 338-4554 National Garage Door.
DC here for Folsom Lake Kia, where they make car shopping easy with a huge selection of new Kia models, low payments, and zero down deals with approved credit. Folsom Lake Kia, your trusted dealer in Folsom for over 25 years. FolsomLakeKia.com.
Hey, Aggie fans, head coach Tim Plow here. Join us in Shredville November 16th for our final home game of the season as we take on the Montana State Bobcats, 5 p.m. This is your chance to send off the seniors in style that have given all for the football team. Football in the fall is what it's all about. So bring your friends and family out to UC Davis Health Stadium and let's get the stands rocking for an important game. Get your tickets today at ucdavisaggies.com/tickets. Go Aggies.
Your home for Kings basketball for over 25 seasons.
Sactown Sports.
$30 more minutes with you. Whitey will join us in about 10 as we have some prop talk to go over. I'm looking here, Kyle, trying to see if Nate and I hit, because Nate definitely did. He took DeMar DeRozan 4 rebounds, and DeMar had 5 rebounds, even though he only played the first half, so he was rebounding the ball well. Somebody else, when we were talking about the offensive rebounds, they mentioned on the text line that the Kings had more rebounds than the Suns. That's fine. The Suns still had 19 offensive rebounds.
Yeah, 14 in the first half, which is, as we mentioned earlier, an all-time franchise record for the Kings. They've never given up 14 offensive rebounds in a half ever in a single game.
Yeah. So, nobody said they didn't have more rebounds than the Suns. They still just gave up too many offensive rebounds to the Suns. 19 is an absurd amount. So Nate hit with his rebounds. I had Keegan Murray 22 and a half rebounds and points, and he had 21. That is rough. He had 15 at halftime.
That's what I was going to say. He had 10 in the first quarter. Like, by the end of the first quarter, you had half the total already there.
What are we doing, Keegan?
Keegs.
I guess if you play the whole game, he would have hit. The blowout kind of blew
He
it.
played 33 minutes.
Yeah,
I don't know if that excuse is working out for you.
Ridiculous, Keegan. All right. We'll allow it this one time.
It wasn't the points either. I mean, he's had games with 10, 11 rebounds this season.
No, it was the rebounds. And that's what they were saying on the text line. Get your weight up. Giving up 19 offensive rebounds. All right, Kyle, what you got for prop talk?
All right. So the Commandos are taking on the Eagles tonight. And as I learned on the morning show today for our celebrity birthdays, today is Devonta Smith's birthday, the star wide receiver from the Eagles, who is one of my favorite players in the NFL for this specific reason, is that when he was in college, he won the Heisman Trophy as a wide receiver. It's the first time in 33 years that a receiver won the Heisman Trophy. And when he was playing in college, he was 6'2", 170 pounds, which for reference, I am 6'2", 170 pounds.
Yeah.
So the fact that me and Devonta Smith are somehow the same build and that he is the Heisman Trophy winning receiver at Alabama and I am here, haven't stepped foot in a gym since the 9th grade, is pretty remarkable. So I love Devonta Smith, and he's going to crush the over on receiving yards tonight on his 26th birthday.
Yeah, I watched what kills you there is he gets a touchdown. He's getting one of the two. He's either getting the yards or both, I guess, technically both. But I was watching a kind of a mini doc on Devonta Smith, and basically he had a coach or a mentor growing up where they said, hey man, you're probably only going to be about 6'2", whatever it is. And they were trying to figure out what sport he could play. And once basketball felt, not that he's not short, but once he felt like basketball was out of the question, and you looked at the amount of players on an NFL team, on a football team, that's what got him into football. And then after that is when the question marks came about not necessarily his height anymore, but hey, you don't weigh that much, or you're not that big, or whatever it is. And he's proved everybody wrong since. He's been a super solid number 2, could make the argument, could probably be a number 1 somewhere. So he is really, I don't think they have a nickname for AJ Brown and Devonta Smith, but they couldn't be different in body types. I'll tell you that much.
It could not be more different.
Yeah.
Yes, AJ Brown is like sculpted out of rock, just crazy.
Yeah.
Was DK Metcalf's college roommate.
Oh, that picture is insane.
Yeah.
The picture that went around from Ole Miss, it was insane. So I like that one, Kyle. I am very much on I would do probably 2 lineups, one with the yards and one with a touchdown, because he's getting one of the 2.
Let's just go complete parlay. Let's do receptions.
Yeah.
Let's do yards.
Yeah.
Let's do touchdowns. Just Devonta Smith is going to have a birthday celebration. And also the other part of it is, I think Washington's number 1 corner tonight is like Benjamin St. Juste.
Yeah.
Like it's, or rookie Mike Sammerstill. Like it's, Washington traded for Marshawn Lattimore for a reason, but Lattimore's not able to play yet.
I have Zach Ertz. I know, talk about a throwback name, but I got a couple things going for me here. This Eagles secondary is who they've gotten clowned by their fan base, and they get tagged in pictures with garbage and big play slay will tag them back and say, leave us alone. Cooper DeJean has started to ball out for them. Their rookie that a lot of people were interested in out of Iowa. I think that because of that, Jaden Daniels goes to Zach Ertz a little bit more. Zach Ertz, 35.5 receiving yards. He hasn't hit it the last 2 games. He had only 5 yards against the Giants and 31 yards against the Steelers. He almost got there, but it's a bit of a revenge game for Zach Ertz with that and the point of maybe the Eagles secondary does a bit of a better job against the Terry McLaurins of the world and the Noah Browns of the world. He hit it 3 games straight. He had 68 yards, 40 yards, and then 77 yards. Then had the Giants game with 5 and Pittsburgh with 31. So I just feel like he might be a bit of a security blanket for Jaden Daniels tonight in a hostile environment. I really like our picks, Kyle.
I like it. It's a revenge game for Mr. Zach Ertz. He's been gone for a while.
He's been gone for. When does that go away?
As soon as the beef ends, right? If you got beef with your old team, as soon as you have the emotional regularity and have come to peace with the outcome is when it ends.
Like Davion Mitchell. The next time the Kings play him,
I think he was fine as soon as they stepped on the floor. It wasn't a revenge game anymore.
But I would say the opposite of that, I think Buddy Hield always feels like it's a revenge game. Now he's with the Warriors. It's definitely a revenge
I think for the first few, I think he's kind of chilled out at this point, but I think the first few, he was definitely feeling like I got to get back at my old team.
You could say Tyrese Halliburton too.
I don't know. Tyrese at this point, I mean, you heard him on the whatever podcast where he was like, okay, before I talk about Sacramento, and like stared into the camera and he was like, I have no problems with Sacramento. I'm happy with how everything has worked out. Like I think he does it now just because he's a wrestling character. Like he likes being the heel. He likes doing the silly stuff. Like I think he's emotionally fine with it. He's just being funny.
There you go. All right. On the other side, we will be joined by Whitey Gleason of The Drive Guys. We got some crosstalk coming up. Allen Stiles, Sactown Sports.
The holidays are always a great time to get together with family and friends, but nothing beats the thrill of Stockton Honda's deals. During Happy Honda Days, find the perfect ride in person or online. With over 400 new Hondas ready to go, now is the time to buy at Northern California's #1 Honda dealer, Stockton Honda.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
Number 1 claims based on 2023 total new and Honda certified pre-owned vehicle car sales from American Honda Motor Company. Sell on report.
Hi. I'm Justin Gingery from the law firm of Gingery, Hammer & Associates. When you have been injured by the fault of another, you will want advice you can trust. If you know an attorney you can trust, I hope you call that person. But if you don't, please call me. I promise I will be the attorney you can trust, along with my entire team. I have been helping accident survivors recover compensation for their injuries for 25 years, and we can help you. There is no charge for calling. If you have an injury, just call Gingery.
Shop Big O Tires now through December 8th and buy 3, get 1 free on 4 select in-stock Cooper, Nexen, Nitto, National, or Sumitomo brand tires. Visit Big O Tires for your total auto care services. Installation required. Disposal fees extra. Not valid with other offers. See Big O dealer for details.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, it's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch every day from lunch to late night? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Hello, Sacramento. I'm Emran Pilati, owner of True Sports Cards and Collectible Store here in Rockland, California, and the host of the True Sports Cards Show that airs right here on Sactown Sports 1140 every Saturday from 10 to 11 a.m., where we discuss the latest trends, hottest products, and deliver exclusive interviews with other industry leaders. And don't forget to visit our shop, True Sports Cards, at 6661 Stanford Ranch Road in Rockland and see what we have for all your sports card and memorabilia needs.
The Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop is the only store in the world to be named a top 100 shop for 40 years straight. Yes, the only golf shop in the world. Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop is your unsurpassed spot to find the hottest golf gear, best pricing, and elite expertise. Try any club on the shelf on the driving range for free and let our staff show you everything you need to look and play better. You love golf. The Hagen Oaks team loves golf too. Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop, Fulton Avenue, Business 80. Learn more at hagenoaks.com or 916-481-GOLF.
The sewer system. It's probably the last thing on your mind, and that's okay. Because at the Sacramento Area Sewer District, it's our first priority. As the region's largest sewer utility, we own and maintain thousands of miles of sewer pipe. And our job is to get to your sewer problem before it interrupts your life. So whether you've got a slow drain or a backup, call us first, day or night. The Sacramento Area Sewer District. It's a dirty job, but we're happy to do it.
It's Capital Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room. And guess what? Primetime football is back. Capital Casino is giving away $500 per game in high hand bonuses for every Sunday, Monday, and Thursday night primetime game. As always, offering the best food, the best service, and the best action with the most variety of games in the region, conveniently located in downtown Sacramento. So check them out, Capital Casino, and always remember to gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
The holidays mean more travel, more shopping, more time online, and more personal info in more places that could expose you more to identity theft. But LifeLock monitors millions of data points per second. If your identity is stolen, our US-based restoration specialists will fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Don't face drained accounts, fraudulent loans, or financial losses alone. Get more holiday fun and less holiday worry with LifeLock. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS. Visit LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
You go into your shower feeling, but as soon as you reach for the Irish Spring, your day immediately gets better. That crisp, fresh, unmistakable Irish Spring scent zings your brain and awakens your senses. So when you finally emerge from the shower, 37 minutes later, because you pay the water bill so you can stay in there as long as you want, you're ready to take on the day and smell great doing it. Irish Spring Body Wash and Bar Soap. Fresh, green, Irish. Shop now at Walmart.
If you've been looking to get into a brand new Jeep, don't wait. Head to Sacramento Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram because all month it's Black Friday. And there's a reason people keep coming back to Sacramento Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram because it's the place where a handshake still means something. Off Business 80 across from Hagen Oaks Golf Course. SacSuperstore.com.
Live and local, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., Monday through Friday. Sactown Sports.
So there's a little bit of confusion with Whitey Gleason. We are looking for Whitey Gleason. He's in the building. Who knows? Maybe he got pulled into a very, very important meeting. Whitey Gleason did. Maybe he'll pop up. Who knows? Kyle, thank you so much for hopping in here with Nate and his situation on such short notice.
It wasn't that short of notice. I mean, I knew yesterday.
Well, yeah, we all knew. We knew before Nate did.
Yeah. It was sort of short notice, I guess you could say. But yeah, I've had a lot of fun today. This is a great day to be in here too. I mean, we got Royale being revealed today. The Kings had their biggest win of the season. Imagine if I had to come in after the Spurs game and we didn't have Royale content for it today. Who knows?
Yeah, that's why I want Whitey in here to hear about his Royale content
with the deflated basketball head mascot.
Real quick, some Niners news. Trent Williams' knee did not practice for the second straight day, so something to monitor there. You know how I feel about the Seahawks. I think they can still take care of business.
I mean, yeah, they're like a touchdown favorite at this point right now. I think they should be just about fine, but who knows? Without Trent Williams, the 49ers have historically not played as well over the years.
They have been a different team. And I mean, if you are a Niners pessimist, as there are just, fan pessimists are out there, you could say Seahawks might be due. I mean, it feels like the Niners have just kind of owned the Seahawks for a while now. So we will monitor Trent Williams, and we have plenty of Niners to talk about tomorrow, and also, of course, preview the Kings T-Wolves, who probably will not have DeMar DeRozan with that back situation. Whitey, before he's listed as doubtful, so that's just me paraphrasing, listed as doubtful, might get changed before the ball tips off tomorrow night. Whitey, you know what we want to talk about.
The new mascot?
That's correct.
Yeah, Royale.
Royale. I love the name. Him or it.
It's kind of funny on the original. Well, he wasn't called Royale, but the face of the Cincinnati Royals. I've seen this. I wasn't around them, but I've seen the pictures, and it's kind of a cheerful basketball face, and the guy's looking up. But this guy, Royale, is kind of menacing.
Yeah. You're not going to come in. You're not going to mess with Royale.
No.
Yeah.
I don't want to.
Those eyebrows are telling the story.
That's it.
Yeah, we might need. I was telling Tristy Rodriguez, who we had on, we might need to see Royale and Slamson duke it out. I'd pay for that.
That'd be a mismatch. Slamson would destroy him.
Yeah.
Slamson's also got like a tiny Dunkson, and he's got the inflatable Slamson. Like he's got a tag team.
He's got a
for his
crew.
wrestling match.
Yeah, he's got a crew. Why?
But he wouldn't need the crew to take care of this guy.
No. Look, put some respect on Royale's name, okay?
Did you notice his hairline is the shape of California?
No.
Yeah,
Is that on purpose?
Yeah, it's the shape of California and then in his crown, it's the Sacramento skyline. Coming out of his crown.
Wouldn't it have made more sense if it was the shape of Ohio?
Well, that was the old one, I think. So they were updating it.
So they updated Royale for the modern age.
They did. They literally
So that
did.
blue thing
That's like the state of California.
Okay.
From what I've read, yeah. It doesn't really, you can't really tell there. But
it just looks like a blob on his head.
Whatever you say, man. When he looks at you like that, like, yeah, we're good.
I'm going to zoom in on you. Now you got to handle that. Whitey, the game last night, we spent a lot of time talking about why and I feel like I know what you're going to say on this, but why the Kings shot better. Could it have something to do with the ball movement? DeMar DeRozan only 2 shots in the first half, and then he exits in the second half. Is it too early to have some of the conversations that we had today about, hey, maybe less DeMar is more? Did you see anything, or are you just giving it a one-off for now?
You know, a big part of last night was the fact that the Suns didn't have their guys and they played the night before.
They did.
And they took advantage. The Kings took advantage
You're
of that,
supposed to. You're
and
supposed
that's
to.
the NBA.
Yes.
But yeah, the shots were going to fall. I know everyone says that, and we kept saying it over and over. The shots were going to fall eventually. DeMar DeRozan, and I know you tweeted about it last night, he didn't score much, but he was still doing
5
things.
rebounds.
Yeah.
He was definitely a part of it, but you're not willing to or wanting to have that conversation yet. Hey, that was more of the classic Kings under Mike Brown that we've seen, a classic version of.
No, I understand what you're saying, but weren't they that way early on too? And DeMar was playing then.
He was, but he wasn't shooting.
Right.
Yeah. And that's why, yes, there is something to it. It's not that DeMar doesn't have to be on the floor, but the DeMar heavy offense that we maybe saw earlier in the season, maybe it's, hey, we're going to kind of get back to where the balance is figuring itself out.
The beauty of having DeMar DeRozan, well, part of it, there's a lot to it, obviously, but he gives you that other gear when the 3-point shots are not falling.
Yes.
We saw a lot last year. Last year, when the threes weren't falling, they just didn't have another gear.
But I think, what we've seen this season is we never really saw if the shots were going to fall or not. It was just DeMar go.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we've seen. And that's why I think this is where the Kings are evolving, and we have not seen the best version of the Kings yet, but maybe the best version of the Kings isn't DeMar DeRozan at 22.9 points a game.
Yeah, it just depends. You know, it's certainly nice to have him there when you need to go to him.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. And he
For
scores
sure.
in bunches. You know, if he'd played last night, he probably would have gotten a sat down early, but maybe he goes off in the third quarter. You know, maybe they never fall behind if he had been playing.
There you go. All right. As we continue the conversation, Whitey, the situation with Trey Lyles and the bench. Sam Amick was on the morning show, talked about just how thin the bench is. Another situation where I'm glad that Jordan McLaughlin had a season high. I'm glad Trey Lyles had a season high. Are the Kings just surviving? I mean, it's just one game. I still feel like the bench is thin. I think they'd have to do this. They still only played a couple guys, right? Trey Lyles, McLaughlin. They tried to get McDermott in there. I think he struggled with the shot a little bit. Yeah. And obviously you had Keon, but do you feel any better about the bench? Or are you just, again, good on the Kings for taking care of business, but it was Ty Washington Jr. and Monte Morris.
I don't think there's anybody out there they can get inexpensively that they want, and I don't think they want to give up what it would take in order to bring in somebody who they think could help. So I think just watching them yesterday before the game, you know, O-Rob was out there, and I think he's going down to Stockton maybe for a practice. It's possible we could see him with the Kings tomorrow? Possible. My point is he looks close. I hadn't seen him a lot last night, but watching him was like, oh, that guy's ready to play. And then also we saw Devin Carter last night.
Yes.
And so I think they're trying to hold on until, Devin Carter won't be back until maybe January. But I just get the impression that's what they'd like to do. Obviously, if their bench doesn't continue to play like they did last night and you're getting knocked around, you'd have to do something, but I don't think they want to.
Yeah, and again, it's early in the season until it's not. That's kind of what my thought process has been. Just a reminder on Orlando Robinson, 2 seasons with the Miami Heat. That 2022-2023 season, he played 31 games with 13.7 minutes per game. And then in 2023-2024, only 23 years old, he played 36 games at 8.4 minutes per game. So we could get him back, and then we're going to figure out, okay, do we still have anything?
Maybe.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Do we have anything? Interesting conversation, Whitey. Well, there's 2 as we leave Kings World for now, because I know you're going to get back into it in the show here. Jaden Daniels, Jalen Hurts. Who would you rather have tonight?
I think Jaden Daniels has a brighter future. Jalen Daniels has a brighter future. I think he's going to be a better quarterback, but I mean, they're not going to win. Washington's not going to win tonight.
In Philly, you get the Philly fans to boo real quick.
Yeah, they're in Philly. That's another reason why Washington's not going to win tonight.
They'll boo though.
They haven't played really quality teams. I mean, the Eagles haven't either of late. They've been just destroying other teams.
Yeah.
I don't like the Eagles necessarily, but I think they're
Kyle, you hear that? Draper?
Oh, he knows. Yeah. But I think this is what is it, 3.5 if you're interested in the point spread. Yeah, I don't see Washington winning tonight. Who knows? These primetime games are weird, but
yeah, you could. I think the only way they got to get out fast. You let the Eagles get comfortable, and I just don't see Washington being able to hang around. But if you hit him in the mouth, Jalen Hurts will cough up the football. He will throw an interception. That's what kept the Commanders in the game. The Commanders they really shouldn't have been in that Steelers game if you think about it. You had the fake punt on about the 15-yard line from the Steelers that went wrong, and then the Steelers fumbled at the goal line. So Commanders, it looks like it was a close game, but there were a lot of self-inflicted wounds from the Steelers. So it should be the Eagles, but the Eagles like to mess around too. So
I'd rather have Jaden Daniels, but Jalen Hurts is going to win tonight.
Okay. Not sure what to do with that, but that was very much so you want Jalen Hurts tonight?
Yeah, they're going to win, but if going forward, Washington has the better quarterback, I think.
There you go. Hey, Whitey Gleason, Kyle Draper, Jay Johnson coming up next to Drive. Guys, thank you for listening to Allen Stiles here with Sactown Sports. Kyle, thank you as always. Thank you to the callers, texters, Sack chatters. Until tomorrow, secure the bag like the bean.
Malik Monk plays here.
Started left, goes right, steps back, launches the 3. Nothing but net. Oh, that was just filthy.